All right. Monday morning, back at y'all with some more content, man. People been asking me to do this video right here or to do a live stream about this subject or about this topic. So, you know, if you look at everything that's been going on with the black and Mexican community in Los Angeles, Lucky from Hood Stocks, the guy who made the African booty scratcher comment, um, this whole situation stems from the Jenny 6 9 flirting with Blueface, right? That's where this whole situation stems from. So a lot of people ain't being honest about that, but I will. Pomona 909 SGV. Shout out to you. That's where everything started from. Now, a lot of people in the black community never heard of Jenny 6 9 because it sounds like Takashi 6 9 if you ask me. You know what I mean? 6 9. All right. Jenny 6 9. All right. We get it. But that's where all this drama this is where all this drama comes from. Blueface got out of prison and she hopped on a live stream with Blueface and Jenny 6 9 was sitting on his lap and she was twerking on Blueface and the Mexican Raza community didn't like that. They felt like it was a bad look. One of the hottest Mexican females in the game is looking like a thought, flirting with a black man, twerking all on his lap. So the Mexican community felt like that was a bad look. So it sparked all type of controversy, right? You had Mexican podcasters, not all of them, but a decent amount of them were pretty upset about this. They was disgusted at the sight of this. You had Mr. Capone. He's not even a Mexican, but he's a Southsider. So he had some negative things to say about this young woman flirting with a black man. So tap on in, man. I should have covered this like 2 weeks ago, but there's been other things going on. But I said, let's get back to the root of things. Let's get back to the root of things. And this situation right here is the root. Now, I got this video from Chicano Movement. I believe that's his name. And he's not a Southsider. He's not a Mexican gangbanger. He seems like what they would call a resident. So I think he was pretty fair in his commentary, right? But they didn't like the fact that she was on Blueface's lap, man. That sparked all. Oh my God, it was an uproar, similar to the Tigers "Ay Caramba" video, right? So yeah, man, tap on in. It is what it is, and she's a sexy Latina. You can tell she got her breasts done. She got a BBL. Yeah, man, it is what it is. But Jenny 6 9 is a sex symbol for the Mexican Chicano community. So to see her flirting with a black man sitting on his lap, a lot of people in the Mexican community were pissed off. They didn't like that. You know what I mean? So let's get into it right now. I think we got enough people tapped in. It is what it is. He said, I think we need this information. Hold on, give me like 2 minutes. We're gonna tap in. Yeah, they didn't like that, man. They felt like she had no business twerking on that black man's lap. You know what I'm saying? See, listen, there's animosity between the black and brown communities. A lot of people pretend like there's no animosity. They try their best to hide it. But in reality, we know what's going on. So when you got all this underlying animosity between these two groups, and then you have a Mexican Latina female twerking on a black man's lap, the reality of it is it just pissed the Mexican community out. It pissed them off, man. They didn't want to see that. They didn't want to see that, you know. They did not want to see that. Oh my God, they was pissed off about that, right? They was upset. They was windmilling, throwing punches in the air, like, oh no, not our Mexican queen. She can't be sitting on no black man's lap. Oh no. Oh way. Like, no way. I mean, they felt like it was a bad look. And see, Mexicans always looked at it like this: like blacks got music, blacks got sports, blacks got entertainment, blacks got all the clout. So Mexicans, they want some of that clout that we have as black people. They want to be in the music game. They want to be entertained. They want to get in entertainment. They feel like black people are getting way too much shine. But guess what? We've been doing this for years. Black people been in the music business, been in entertainment, been in sports. So we've had the spotlight for forever. That's because our people have a lot of talent, and a lot of Mexicans are jealous of that. This is why you've seen so many Mexicans making videos saying, oh man, we want to be in a rap game. Black people are keeping us out of the rap game and da 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 da. Well, I say this. If you make music that comes from your own culture, then black people can't keep you out of hip hop. Simple as that. Now, we all know black people created country music, but white people are gatekeeping country music. If we tried to make music that white people dominate, they're going to gatekeep it. They're going to keep us out. So to avoid all of that, guess what? Black folks, we make music that comes from our own culture. You can't make music from somebody else's culture and then complain about why you're not getting the same shine as them. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. Hold on, let me get this off of the screen. We're going to start this show up, man. I don't know why this thing is on the screen, but we're trying to get rid of it. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you can't get it. You can't get in somebody's culture and complain about why you're not getting the same shine as them. That don't make sense. If you got talent, it's best to just make music from your own culture. I can't go do mariachi music and then complain about why I'm not getting the same shine as Mexicans and that music genre. That makes no sense. So let's get it. They're running around. Oh, it's not fair. Blacks are getting all the shine. Well, black people should get all the shine in our culture. You're not going to come in our culture and get more shine than us. That doesn't make sense. So at this point, that is pure jealousy. If I tried to do reggaeton, I can't complain about why I'm not getting the same shine as the Latinos who make that music, even though reggaeton comes from reggae. If you want to get to the root of it. So they're not worried about black people down south. Channel 9A, baby. Listen, we all know that Mexicans and Latinos want to rap, so they are worried about black people. If you're emulating a style that comes from another culture, you are worried about them. You're trying to replicate, you're trying to duplicate, you're trying to imitate. And when you don't get the same shine, then you call it hate. So we got to be honest about this thing. Red Supreme, King Supreme ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. Let's get into the video.
Oh, you talk good about me? I never did an interview with you, my boy. You wanted to go on live? I never did, because why? I know what it is.
Honestly, as a woman, I feel...
Now, I'm going to give you his name so you can, the Chicano podcast. I believe he kept it a stack. He didn't sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? It was unfiltered, but at the same time, he was very respectful. So let's see what he had to say about Jenny 6ix9ine, Jenny sitting on Blueface lap, and all the controversy that surrounds it. Anytime there's a black and Mexican conversation, it's going to be surrounded with controversy. That's just that's the nature of the beast right there, man.
I feel bad for you.
Honestly, as a woman, I feel bad for you. Who the hell are these haters? What it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy, Vulture of the Chicano podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Support a real one in the field. Today, we're talking about Jenny 6ix9ine meeting up with Blueface, baby, and collab.
See, that was her right there with Blueface. Blueface got out of prison, and
Blueface, baby.
she did a collab with Blueface, right? Sitting on his lap, and that was just like they didn't like it. So let's dive into it.
And collabing on some music, flirting, having a good time, being single, even though single sucks. If you're in a relationship, stop. The grass is not greener on the other side. It's Astro.
He got chomo charges. Hey man, I don't know his background, man. I'm just doing the media. If he got chomo charges, then he got chomo charges. I'm just covering the media, right? I'll let his people take care of that. Whatever he does behind the scenes ain't my business. I don't really care. I'm just reacting to the content, man. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat.
Turf, BBLs, and broken women. So don't be single in 2025. Stay home, man. Listen,
he ain't lying about that. The dating game is full of BBLs, single mothers, and broken women. For the most part, that's what you're going to find out there. Or females who want too much social media attention. The dating market is trash. It really is. There's a lot of quantity, but there's not a lot of quality. And don't be fooled by these females who talking about they make money. That doesn't make them quality women because they make money. But anyway, we'll get into that later.
Got haters coming for Jenny so hard, bro. It is amazing to me, people. Off the bat, we talking about Jenny's haters today. Negra, Capone. To me, people.
This is what they were mad at right here. And then you got Mr. Capone. He ain't even a Mexican. This dude is from Pakistan or something, Pakistanian. He said Jenny's a hood rat and a clout demon. She has no respect. She's a thought. Why? Because she's sitting on a black man's lap. Shit, most of these chicks in the industry are thighs. Most of these chicks are internet thighs, bro. You know what I mean? Starving for attention. And listen, it's crazy when a woman calls a man thirsty, but you're the one with your breast out and your booty out. You're the one that's thirsty for attention. But you're going to call a man thirsty for looking. Now, a lot of cats are thirsty. But females like attention thoughts, they have no business calling anybody thirsty when in reality, they are very thirsty for attention. That's why they're always taking pictures, showing their butt, flaunting their body, because they're the thirsty ones for attention. So don't ever let a thirsty female call you thirsty when clearly she's starving for attention. That's why she hop on social media, showing her booty, showing her body, showing her breasts. These are some of the thirstiest chicks you could ever meet. So when they call you thirsty, in reality, she's projecting.
Off the bat, we talking about Jenny's haters today. Negra, Capone, Pink, all these people, you'll notice, it's always like, notice the people that hate. You know what I mean? And we're going to look at the people that didn't hate, like Baldacci. Why do I always forget his name? It's not Little One, the other one from San Diego. Oh my God. They're showing love. So today we're talking about Jenny meeting up, hooking up, or just vibing with Blueface, being an adult, two consenting adults making music and having a good time together. Wow.
See, now, if Jenny 6ix9ine was butt ugly and fat, they wouldn't care. By her being a sexy Latina, a sexy Chicana, this is why they're pissed off. If Jenny 6ix9ine was 200 pounds, fat and out of shape, the Mexican community wouldn't care about that. It wouldn't bother them. You know what they would say? So you black guys only get the fat women. You black guys only get the tortas. What they call them, the tortas? Oh, see, you black fools will only get the tortas. That's what they would have said if she was fat and overweight. But since she's beautiful and sexy, sitting on Blueface's lap, twerking on him, oh, they was pissed off about that. And my thing is this, homie. These females are for the streets. They don't belong to anybody. I don't care what race they are. They belong to the streets. Nobody owns them. You just rent them.
Oh, and then we have these little haters, bro. Negra, didn't you go to prison? Weren't you put, didn't the FBI put you in prison or something, bro? And you think you have the moral authority to tell Jenny how she should live? This is wild. So today we're reacting to Negra hating on Jenny. And we're going to talk a little bit about Capone. We're going to talk a little bit about everybody, bro. But this is wild, bro. I never understood why people hate so much on Jenny. Me just being cool with Jenny, I get hate sometimes. It's amazing to me, but at the same time, there's a lot of love. So let's hear what this fool, and then Blue D, Blue Devil over here hating on Jenny because he can't get an interview.
Like, como dices tú, you're giving pobrecita vibes. You're giving, like, desperate vibes. Collabing is one thing. Behavior is another thing. You know, y luego estás online llorando que porque la vida está como está, why people do whatever they treat you, how they treat you, you know, why.
Bro, I also don't understand this. Jenny has her social media, right? Jenny's Instagram page didn't run up on you, Negra, and run up in your house and say, follow me. You know, he didn't run up on you and be like, hey, you got to follow everything that Jenny, yeah, she collabs with popular blogs. She does this and that, but she's not going into your homes. You're going to find them. I always tell people, I'm on YouTube and these social media platforms. I didn't run up in your house and make you watch me. You got on YouTube, you got an account, and now you're looking for me, bro. So when you find me, deal with me and show some love and respect, if anything. But over here, you got people that went to... I don't think Jenny's ever even had a felony, bro. And this girl's over here dry snitching every video, telling the world about everything under the sun that has to do with prison, gangs, and the politics of gangs in prison, which is wild. Jenny's...
Yeah, this chick right here, it's like, chill out, homegirl. You be in a federal prison. You're in no position to be the morality police. You've been in a federal prison. You're in no position to be the morality police. Stop it. Right? Trying to police Jenny and what she does with her body. Hold on, Chica. You just got out of federal prison not too long ago. Pipe down, calm down, and mind your business. This is the thing. Sometimes you got to pay attention. Sometimes you got to look for the things that people are not saying. Oh, Jenny lacks class. Oh, she looks desperate. You're just saying that because she's twerking on a black man's lap. If she was twerking on another Mexican man's lap, she would have never made that video. The only reason she made that video because Jenny was twerking on a black man. Let's be honest. I can see through muddy waters. I can see through the fog.
Over here hanging out with a black dude, and that's the second part I want to talk to. RP ever even had a felony, bro? And this girl's over here dry snitching every video, telling the world about everything under the sun that has to do with prison, gangs, and the politics of gangs in prison, which is wild. Jenny's over here hanging out with a black dude, and that's the second part I want to talk to. Our people are racist, dog. So one, Negra has no room to be a moral authority, dog. Maybe you're just mad because you don't get to hang out with Blueface. You got to go home to FatCon.
That's LA Icon, I think. He the one that, was talking about Juneteenth and how come there wasn't enough Mexicans at the Juneteenth pop out, Kendrick Lamar's pop out. I believe that's LA Icon, and that's Jenny 6ix9ine. Like I said, if Jenny 6ix9ine was fat, nobody would care that she was twerking on Blueface. Right? Nobody would care. Right? She's a sex symbol in the Mexican community. And that's why a lot of people were pissed off. Oh my God, she's twerking on a black man's lap. Yeah, that got a lot of people upset.
Bro, and that fool just gets fatter and fatter. I know, I get it. It's a rough world for you, homegirl, to be a moral authority, dog. Maybe you're just mad because you don't get to hang out with Blueface. You got to go home to FatCon, bro. And that fool just gets fatter and fatter. I know, I get it. It's a rough world for you, homegirl. But don't put your bad energy on Jenny 6ix9ine that's out there with Blueface, a man that actually respects his body and takes care of himself, who's a real player out here. They're two players making player moves, dog. You don't think Jenny knew that our community was going to be racist, bro? One of the biggest things that our community hates on is black people. Let's be honest. The last thing anybody wants.
And he just said it. They're hating on black people. And this is why, because black people rap. Mexicans want to be rappers so bad. They want the same spotlight that we get. They want to outshine us in our culture. So I say this because it's true. I don't say this because I'm speaking from what I think or speaking from my feelings. These are the facts. Mexicans want to be in entertainment. Mexicans want to be rappers, and black people got that sold up. And they want to outshine us in our own culture, and it's not going to happen. I can't listen. If I tried to do mariachi music, I can't complain about why I can't outshine Mexicans in their own music genre. That makes no sense. So he's going to explain why a lot of Chicanos have, are jealous of black people. They may not admit it, but the facts are staring you right in the face. Everybody wants to do our music, but then complain about why they can't get the same shine as we get in our own culture. That is crazy. You don't see black people doing that in other people's culture. We don't make music in other people's culture and complain about why we can't get the shine they get. We don't do that. We make music from our own culture. And when you make music from your own culture, you ain't got to deal with those problems.
A man that actually respects his body and takes care of himself, who's a real player out here. They're two players making player moves, dog. You don't think Jenny knew that our community was going to be racist, bro? One of the biggest things that our community hates on is black people. Let's be honest. The last thing anybody wants is for a woman of a Mexican house to bring home a black person. You feel me? Funny Carlos, shout out to him. He put it up.
The last thing the Mexican community want is a Mexican woman to bring home a black man. So they don't want to see Mexican women with black men, and they're mad that they can't outshine us in our own culture, our own music. So a lot of Mexicans have became haters because of that. Oh, they're jealous. And listen, what's crazy is when you look at all these Mexican rappers now, it's like they're just copying. Like, why would you listen to their music when they're mimicking everything black people do? The way they dress, the way they talk, the way their style of rap, their whole get down is black. Like, why would I get the knockoff when I can just get the real version? You're imitating black people, so why listen to you when I can just go listen to the people that you're imitating? If you're going to be a rapper, the least you could do is have your own style. The best you could do, let me rephrase that. The best you could do is have your own style, because when you're copying somebody else's style and you're a whole nother race, but you're mimicking black people and wondering why you can't get the same shine as them, but you're a knockoff version of the people that you really don't like, it's a bad look. People with common sense is going to say, you're imitating these people. Why not just get the real thing? You're the knockoff version. So never be a knockoff. Be original. Never be a knockoff. Be original. Then you won't have those problems.
Let's be honest. Who's a real player out here? They're two players making player moves, dog. You don't think Jenny knew that our community was going to be racist, bro? One of the biggest things that our community hates on is black people. Let's be honest.
The Beatles got where do you think the Beatles got their style from? You're crazy. Rap is sampling oldies hits. And I know you don't want to admit it, Moses, because you're a hater. That's why you up in here trolling. Black people created jazz music. Black people created rock and roll. Black people created country. Black people created the blues. Black people created R&B. Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, funk music. So we never had to copy anybody. You don't know what you're talking about, Vato. Name one music genre in America that your people created. You can't, so you need to be quiet. You're not educated on the subject. My people created this music that we all listening to. Jazz, rock, the oldies, Motown. We don't need to copy anybody. A lot of your favorite white artists, look at Elvis. Elvis learned all of his dance moves from hanging around black people. He was imitating black culture. But I know you don't understand that because you're ignorant when it comes to the history of music. You don't know anything. Sit down, take notes, and be a loyal student. Maybe you can learn something. They get mad like you're copying us, but then trying to say we didn't create it. You look like a clown. Straight clown.
Our community was going to be racist, bro. One of the biggest things that our community hates.
I never blocked you, homeboy. I haven't blocked one person. I do my content. Maybe my moderators blocked you because you've been talking stupid. And if you was blocked, you wouldn't be in my comment section right now. Maybe somebody timed you out for talking stupid. Yeah. Up there trolling, a grown man up there trolling and begging for my attention. How pathetic. And this ain't no disrespect to Mexicans, but I got to be real. Music do not come from Mexicans. It don't come from Latinos. None of the music we listen to, none of the music that we listen to in America originates with Latinos. It don't. If you study blues, jazz, rock and roll, country music, R&B, Motown, funk music, disco, if you study all of that, you're going to see that Black Americans created it. Music influences culture. Let me say this to you ignorant people. Music influences culture. So whoever dominates music influences the culture. But you're too ignorant to understand that. You're too ignorant to understand that.
Here, they're two-faced. You got to go home to FatCon, bro. And that fool just gets fatter and fatter. I know, I get it. It's rough world for you, homegirl. But don't put your bad energy on Jenny 6ix9ine that's out there with Blueface, a man that actually respects his body and takes care of himself, who's a real player out here. They're two players making player moves, dog. You don't think Jenny knew that our community was going to be racist, bro? One of the biggest things that our community hates on is black people. Let's be honest. The last thing anybody wants is for a woman of a Mexican house to bring home a black person. You feel me? Funny Carlos, shout out to him. He put it up saying, dude, it's not about if it was a Mexican dude that she was sitting on the lap of, everybody would be fine. But because it's a black dude, everybody's tripping, really in their feelings. You know, it's so amazing, bro. She didn't do anything. Yeah, he touched her butt, bro. They're both single. What a concept. You fools be letting Tyrone from Walmart down the street touch your butt for nothing. And Jenny's out here making money doing it. So step your game up if you're going to hate on Jenny 6ix9ine. This is wild, bro. You guys literally
Yeah, man, we created rock music and country music. White people just stole it. We created rock music and country music, but white people just stole it. This is why we're protecting hip hop, because it's like, come on, man. If you listen to hip hop back in the beginning, all they did was sample oldies, music that we created prior to hip hop. But you can't expect somebody from another culture to understand that, because they're just copying, but they don't understand the history. You guys are copying, but don't understand the history. If you listen to those old school hip hop records, all they did was sample the oldies. Hip hop comes from the music that we created prior to hip hop. What we did is we blended all the music we created prior to hip hop. We blended it all together and called it hip hop. You know what I mean? Rap music. But when you don't understand the elements, you get in my comment section and say something stupid.
random fools hit. And this is a superstar. Even if she did knock down with him, that's none of your business. But if she did, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. They're both single adults. You feel me? Living their best lives, famous. Why can't they have a little bit of fun? We're over here having fun when nobody's looking at our houses anyway. We're doing the same things. I hate when people point the finger, because remember, when you point the finger, 3 fingers are pointing back at you, my boy. So Blue Devil, I know you don't get no hoes, but you got to stop hating on the females, bro. It's so weird to see fools hating on females. I didn't want to hate on Negra. She was all respectful in person, but this whole Jenny having this moral authority is wild.
Through the things that you go through, it's because you put yourself in those situations.
Now, I don't have nothing against you, Negra. Now, I don't know why they call her Negra. Maybe because she's a dark-skinned Mexican. And it's all good. I ain't mad at you, baby. But you can't be the moral police. You can't be the morality police when you done went to federal prison. Maybe Jenny is a thot. Maybe she does like to shake her butt. That's her business. That's how she makes her money. You're in no position to be the morality police. Anyway, let's see what Negra had to say about Jenny 6ix9ine. And this is another Mexicana Latina woman.
Go through. It's because you put yourself in those situations. She was all respectful in person, but this whole Jenny having this moral authority is wild. Through the things that you go through, it's because you put yourself in those situations. True. It's sad. It's sad that you have to go out like that. It's like, what is your problem? You're giving straight sucia, Figueroa, desperate, pobrecita vibes.
All right, there you have it.
Bro, I don't even want to know what Blue Devil said. I don't care. The main thing is, it takes one to know one. I think Negra is the pobrecita. She can't get a regular job, so she has to go around and showing everybody the prison politics, bro. We don't need to hear those stories, bro. The people that watch that stuff is crazy, bro. Then most of them haven't been to prison. We don't need to keep showing prison. Prison is like the worst place you could go.
I agree with him on that, man. Like, man, like who wants to hear prison stories every day? As a free man in society, like who wants to hear about prisons and inmates doing burpees and who stabbed who? I mean, it's cool to talk about. It's cool to talk about it sometimes, man. But damn, to talk about prison every day as a free person, that's crazy. That's crazy that you could even talk about that and make money. How many prison stories are you gonna sell? Who wants to wake up every day hearing prison stories? Now, of course, you got some people who want to know what goes on in prison, but after a while, man, that gets played out. We in the free world. We're trying to get money. We're trying to get women. Who in the hell wants to hear about prison every day?
Why are crazy, bro? Then most of them haven't been to prison. We don't need to keep showing prison. Prison is like the worst place you could go. Why do we glorify these things? So she glorifies prison life, and Jenny is glorifying her sexuality, her power, her music. I don't understand. Like, I feel like if anybody's pobrecita, it's Negra, bro. So Negra, stay in your lane, focus on yourself, bro. You're always over here. It's always like that homegirl that thinks she's the real gangster, but when gangsters come around, they get all like, ooh. Because I already talked to homies from Avenues. You are not that kind of factor. Relax. Anyway, let's talk about Mr. Capone real quick. Mr. Capone's over here saying, is this your brown queen or whatever, bro?
And this dude is from Pakistan. He's a Pakistanian, or at least from the Middle East somewhere. The hell you worried about a Mexican sitting on a black man's lap? You ain't even a Mexican. I mean, he thinks he's a Mexican, but he's not a Mexican. So Mr. Capone had no business even speaking on the subject. You're not even a Mexican, S.A. I want you to hear what this Pakistani dude had to say about Jenny sitting on Blueface's lap.
Factor. Relax. Anyway, let's talk about Mr. Capone real quick. Mr. Capone's over here saying, is this your brown queen or whatever? Bro, don't worry about what we're doing, bro. Because first of all, dog, your women in Pakistan or Wakistan, they're all covered up, bro. There's no rights for women. So I'm sure you're used to oppressing women and oppressing their sexuality and holding them down. But don't get up into the Raza community hating on us and worrying about us. We are very proud of our sexuality, proud of what we do. And
so you know why King Moses is up in here trolling? Gasper Yanga and a lot of the black Seminoles fought off the Spanish and defeated the Spanish in several battles. A black man, Vincent Guerrero, nicknamed El Negro, abolished slavery in Mexico. He the one that pushed to abolish slavery. A black man, El Negro. Gasper Yanga was in southern Mexico fighting against the Spanish, defeated the Spanish in several battles. So blacks in Mexico played a major role in Mexico gaining their independence from Spain. But of course, Moses is not going to say that because Moses is a Spaniard conquistador. People like Moses, he has the blood of the Spanish conquistadors in him. So he's not going to be honest about history. When you study the history of Mexico, the black Seminoles, keep in mind, because Florida, at one particular time, Florida was ruled by Spain. There was a black native tribe. These were, it was a tribe of natives and blacks. They had all mixed together, so they called themselves the Black Seminoles. They went down to Mexico because the black Seminoles was already putting belt to ass against the Spanish in Florida. The black Seminoles was whooping on the Spanish in Florida, was doing a lot of damage to them. So much to the point to where the United States said, hey man, we'll give you territory in Oklahoma and leave y'all alone. Please leave Florida. But the black Seminoles was doing a lot of damage to the Spanish in Florida. So the Mexican government told them, hey, why don't you guys come down here and help us in our fight against Spain? And that's exactly what the black Seminoles did. So they went down to Mexico and assisted Mexico in their battle against Spain. But Moses doesn't know that because Moses is a Spanish conquistador. So he's going to lie about history. The facts are not on your side, buddy. They're just not.
movement.
See, when people when they come up here trolling, that means that they think about your day and night. Whenever Red Supreme goes live, here he go. He hop in the comment section trolling, begging for my attention. That is a desperate man. That is one desperate, pathetic man.
Dog, you're women in Pakistan. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself, bro. You're always over here. It's always like that homegirl that thinks she's the real gangster, but when gangsters come around, they get all like, ooh. Because I already talked to homies from Avenues. You are not that kind of factor. Relax. Anyway, let's talk about Mr. Capone real quick. Mr. Capone's over here.
Gaspar Yango was in southern Mexico. There were black people in southern Mexico fighting off the Spanish as well. Gaspar Yanga and his army and his troops. Gaspar Yanga was militant. And they defeated the Spanish in several battles in southern Mexico. Why you think they named a whole town in Mexico after Yanga? That's why they named the town after Yanga in southern Mexico, because he helped them to defeat the Spanish. They would slaughter Spanish soldiers in battle. But see, Moses, he's a Spanish conquistador, so he's not going to tell the truth about history.
Saying, is this, you're always over here. It's always like that homegirl that thinks she's the real gangster, but when gangsters come around, they get all like, ooh. Because I already talked to homies from Avenues. You are not that kind of factor. Relax. Anyway, let's talk about Mr. Capone real quick.
Vincent Guerrero was the second president of Mexico, and his name was El Negro. It took a black man to push for civil rights in Mexico, to abolish slavery. And guess what? Mexico barely added their black population to the census maybe 15 years ago. Mexico barely added their black population to the Constitution years ago. And blacks been in Mexico for centuries. But of course, you wouldn't know that. Well, maybe you do not. Maybe you do know that. But you're a Spanish conquistador. You're a liar. You're a liar. You lie about history. It's in your DNA. It's in your blood. You're a Spanish conquistador, dude. Blacks been in Mexico since the 15 and 1400s. There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. And you had blacks already in the Americas prior to the 1500s. There was no such thing as a Mexican until the Spanish conquistador showed up. That's why if you look at history prior to the 1500s, there was no such thing as a Mexican.
Mr. Capone's over here. You're always over here. It's always like that homegirl that thinks she's the real gangster, but when gangsters come around, they get all like, ooh. Because I already talked to homies from Avenues. You are not that kind of factor. Relax. Anyway, let's talk about Mr. Capone real quick. Mr. Capone's over here saying, is this your brown queen or whatever? Bro, don't worry about what we're doing, bro. Because first of all, dog, your women in Pakistan or Wakistan, they're all covered up, bro. There's no rights for women. So I'm sure you're used to oppressing women and oppressing their sexuality and holding them down. But don't get up into the Raza community hating on us and worrying about us. We are very proud of our sexuality, proud of what we do. And movement and sensuality is a big part of being Latino, but you wouldn't know nothing about that because you're not Latino. That's the main point, bro. People don't want to hear some Muslim dude, wannabe Chicano dude, hating on a brown woman, bro. Stay in your lane. Stay up out of her business. You can never be with her, dog. You can never sit in the same room with her like I did, bro. You're still dressed up like you were a clown in the 90s. So stop it, Mr. Osama, and go back to doing whatever you were doing with your big old pants. Take Pink Rosie or whatever her name was, freaking clown-looking female that just keeps hating on Jenny. Just look at the people that are hating. Blue Devil, Pink Rose. I'm already forgetting her name. Negra.
King Moses is a Spanish conquistador. It's all right, Moses. You're a Spanish conquistador. Why don't you just be proud? Be proud to be a Spanish conquistador, man. Accept it, embrace it. Just accept it, man. Just accept it. Be proud of your Spanish conquistador blood. Be proud of your Spanish conquistador bloodline, man. You're a conquistador. So of course you're going to get in here and fabricate history. That's what Spanish conquistadors do. That's what you're known for.
These are all like, Mr. Osama, go back to doing whatever you were doing with your big old pants. Take Pink Rosie or whatever her name was, freaking clown-looking female that just keeps hating on Jenny. Just look at the people that are hating. Blue Devil, Pink Rose. I'm already forgetting her name. Negra. These are all like either low lives or people like, aren't pretty or, not good looking. I'm not trying to hate, but all the fools that get girls or handsome or the females that are popping, they weren't hating on Jenny. It's the fools that don't get girls. For me, it's always been ugly girls and ugly dudes that hate. You feel me?
You may not like this dude that's talking, but he's telling the truth. Now, I don't care about his prison charges or his jail charges. I don't care about any of that. I'm doing a reaction to his video, and so far, everything that he said is true. He spoke on the Mexican community hating on black people because they feel like they should be welcome in hip hop. They want to get the same shine as we get in our own culture. We know this. We know that Mexicans don't want their daughters bringing home black men. We know this. George Lopez said it. Lefty Gunplay even said it. When you're from Los Angeles, you know this to be true. That was confirmation for the information that I was already up on game about. So I already knew that. A lot of people who didn't know that needed to hear it from Lefty Gunplay, needed to hear it from George Lopez. We know that's how the Mexican Chicano community feels about black people. It's no secret, especially if you live in California. You know this to be a fact.
Girls are handsome or the females that are popping, they weren't hating on Jenny. It's the fools that don't get girls. For me, it's always been ugly girls and ugly dudes that hate. You feel me? It's ugly dudes hating. And let's be honest, the real reason why everybody's hating is because she's with a black dude, bro. So Capone, get off her jock. You're just being racist, negative looking. I'm not trying to hate, but all the fools that get girls or handsome or the females that are popping, they weren't hating on Jenny. It's the fools that don't get girls. For me, it's always been ugly girls and ugly dudes that hate. You feel me? It's ugly dudes hating. And let's be honest, the real reason why everybody's hating is because she's with a black dude, bro. So Capone, get off her jock. You're just being racist. Negra, you're just more hating because you're not popping like her. And even with that BBL, you could never beat her. And 3 or 4, I don't even know where I'm at now. Blue Devil, bro, just because you didn't get the interview, you don't gotta hate on the girl, bro. She's living her best life, popping more than any of you fools. She can see you from down there, bro. You guys could never be on her level. That's why you never interviewed her, and why you'll never be around her, because you're not at that aura level. And it's real sad how our people just turn their back on people just because they express a little of their sexuality with an opposite sex. I don't know about you, but black women are beautiful. So I don't know why we have a problem with black men on the women's side. It's a contradiction. It's a double standard. And we need to do better, like Funny Carlos said. Go follow him. We need to do better. We need to move forward, not worrying about race. We have so much other things to worry about. There's so much going on in the world. Why are we worried about?
Now, show me the lie that this dude told in his video. Now, if the Mexican community don't like him, that's their business. But you can't show me one lie that this dude told in the video. He was 100. He kept it a stack. He didn't fabricate anything. So salute to him.
All you guys, if she's not taking money out of your pockets, don't worry about her because she's filling her pockets. One last thing, bro. I always had envy. People always envied me. And now I found a way to monetize that envy. And that's what she's doing. She's monetizing the envy you guys have, the racism you still hold, the prejudice, and also just because you don't look as good as her or you're not as ambitious as her or you made choices that you could never, do what she does, you want to hate. And that's sad, bro. That's sad. We need to uplift our women. And for the women that are hating, we need to check them with love. It's all respect, Negra, but you got to get it together, bro. Stop worrying about other people. Worry about yourself, man. You guys got enough problems to deal with. Capone, worry about yourself. You got all kinds of problems, and your people even have problems. So everybody, show love to Jenny 69. Let me know in the comments below if you think Jenny 69 is being a little hoochie mama, if it's cool, if it's okay, if it's
hood rat, hoochie mama, hood rat, hoochie mama. Don't come over here with all that drama. Don't come over here with that drama. Hood rat, hoochie mama. Hey, but shout out to Jenny 69, man. You know what I'm saying? She's a sexy Latina. So this whole this African booty scratcher conversation stems from this. This is what they were mad about. This is why Lucky asked that one Mexican female, do you think Blueface is handsome? Would you date a black man? No, why not? Why not? Oh, African-American booty scratcher? So that whole African-American booty scratcher comment stems from the Blueface Jenny 6ix9ine situation. Mexicans being mad at Jenny 6ix9ine for flirting with Blueface. So that's where the African booty scratcher comment stems from. It came out of jealousy. The racial comment about African booty scratchers stems from jealousy. I promise you.
It's because we are racist as a community. We do not want black people in our families. I love. It's all respect, negative, but you got to get it together, bro. Stop worrying about other people. Worry about yourself, man. You guys got enough problems to deal with. Capone, worry about yourself. You got all kinds of problems, and your people even have problems. So everybody, show love to Jenny 6ix9ine. Let me know in the comments below if you think Jenny 6ix9ine is being a little hoochie mama, if it's cool, if it's okay, if it's because we are racist as a community. We do not want black people in our families. I don't have that in my family. I remember when, like, my second cousin, but my cousin Erica brought a black dude home, and they're still married to this day, bro. Have little brown and black babies. Because in the Bay Area, bro, we don't trip on that. We're not caught up. That's why LA needs to evolve, and why the music industry will never really catch on, because there's so much divisions in race and gangs and cities and areas. You can never get together to become on a mainstream level. And that's what Jenny's doing. The last opinion I have today is that Jenny is broadening her audience to a black community of people that want to see beautiful brown and black people together. And even if it's a little edgy, little hoochie mama, that's okay. That's what makes you watch, bro. If she was over here doing a cooking class with him, all perfectly dressed up, you guys would not be watching. So blame yourself before you blame Jenny. In the comments below, let me know what you think about Jenny, about Hating Ass Negra, about Blue Devil, about all these fools. It's just crazy, fool. Shout out to Baldachi for not hating. Shout out to everybody else in the comments for telling her to keep doing her thing. And Jenny 6ix9ine, if you see this girl, I'm sorry.
Vincent Guerrero was unalived by other Mexicans because Vincent Guerrero, his nickname was El Negro. He was fighting for the civil rights of black people. He wanted, melanated people in Mexico to be recognized as citizens and to have equal opportunities. And that is why he was assassinated in Mexico right after he abolished slavery. Vincent Guerrero, the second president of Mexico, his nickname was El Negro. Come on, man.
That it wasn't me, I'll be honest, but I'm happy that you're out there having a good time, and be happy. Don't worry about these haters. You know what you're doing. Keep it going. My bad. This is your boy Pocho.
So yeah, they assassinated Vincent Guerrero because he was fighting for black people to have more civil rights in Mexico. They said, nah, this fool is trying to give black people and melanated people too much power, so they assassinated him.
You upset? You.
Now I want to show you this thing right here real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to that clip right there to No Jumper. Look.
Principalmente. I think it's a bloodline of Lorenzo's.
Lorenzo is their mom's maiden name. Ira run Malena, an Afro-Mexican restaurant in LA. The sisters make up what they estimate is a community.
Listen, man, black people been in Mexico prior to the 1500s. We've been in the Americas forever because black people are the original men. Blacks are the original people. Let me say that. That's the fact. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm just being honest about the fact. This is scientifically proven.
Of about a couple hundred Afro-Mexicans in Los Angeles.
I think it's a bloodline of Lorenzo's.
Lorenzo is their mom's maiden name. Maria Elena Lorenzo immigrated to Los Angeles.
Shout out to Desmond Hill for the Cash App. Shout out to William for the Cash App. Let's get some people to support this beautiful show. I do these early morning shows for you guys.
In the 90s, from an area known as Costa Chica Guerrero in Mexico.
That whole strip of Mexico, we look different. We have curly hair, black curly hair. Now,
Guerrero was named after Vincent Guerrero. Blacks been in southern Mexico for centuries.
but my sisters, they took on the trade of, the Afro indigenous culture.
It's estimated there are more than
Oh, it is scientifically proven, dummy. You a Spanish conquistador, so you're automatically disqualified from the conversation. You a liar. You're a thief. You're a Spanish conquistador. That's exactly what you are. If you did a DNA test right now, half of your blood comes from Spain. You're a Spanish conquistador. You might as well just accept it. Embrace the fact that you're a Spaniard. You're a conquistador. Those are your ancestors. So you will never be honest about history. It's funny that you got all these Spanish conquistadors in my comment section mad about history, desperately trying to rewrite the history. But guess what? That's what Spanish conquistadors do. They lie about history, they erase the history, then they try to rewrite it. What else do you expect from a Spanish conquistador, though? They're all in the comment section, trolling, twerking, begging for my attention. Shame on these Spanish conquistadors and the lies they tell.
They took on the trade of, the Afro indigenous culture.
It's estimated there are more than 3.1 million Afro-Mexicans, or people of African descent, in Mexico. They've been a part of the country's fabric since the 1500s, but if you look in the history books, you'll have a hard time finding them.
See, you got Mexicans that even tell you, and it's been before that. Mexicans even tell you that Afro-Mexicans, black people been in Mexico. History goes back all the way to the 1500s and before that, because the Spanish conquistadors erase a lot of that history. But the scientists, the anthropologists, they dug up skeletons and bones. The original people of the Americas, some of the oldest skeletons and bones they found were melanated black people. But you can't expect for a Spanish conquistador to ever be honest about history. It's not in their bloodline. It's not in their DNA. They're never going to do it. And you can't expect them to.
It's estimated there are more than 3.1 million Afro-Mexicans, or people of African descent, in Mexico. They've been a part of the country's fabric since the 1500s, but if you look in the history books, you'll have a hard time finding them.
Most of the researchers focus on the dichotomy of...
Are these Mexicans lying right here? Is this Mexican dude lying about black people being in Mexico? Their history goes all the way back to the 1500s. Is he lying? No, he's lying. He's not telling the truth. Typical from a Spanish conquistador. Look at these Spanish conquistadors in the comment section. They are pissed off. They are windmilling. They are punching the air. You can tell by the comments that people made. You can tell these are Spanish conquistadors. Now, some of these people call themselves Mexicans, but in reality, these are Spanish conquistadors. That's what they are. Don't be mad at me because you're a Spanish conquistador. Embrace the fact that you're a Spanish conquistador. Embrace it. Accept it. Move on. Stop lying about history, Vato. I know it upsets you to learn that black people, the history of black people in Mexico goes back all the way to the 1500s and way before that. I know you don't want to hear that.
Spaniards.
They took on the trade of, the Afro indigenous culture.
It's estimated there are more than 3.1 million Afro-Mexicans, or people of African descent, in Mexico. They've been a part of the country's fabric since the 1500s, but if you look in the history books, you'll have a hard time finding them.
Most of the researchers focus on the dichotomy of the Spaniards and the indigenous communities. But very few people talk about the Africans who came, the esclavos.
But go to places like Guajinicuilapa, Guerrero, and their presence is undeniable.
El concepto afromexicana va mucho más allá de tener piel morena, de ser rizada.
How did this trip from Guerrero to Oaxaca become a haven for Afro-Mexicans? How did Mexico become a new home for the African diaspora? And
so he's Mexican, right? But he's honest about history. He said it himself, like their history goes back to the 1500s. And I didn't need him to say this. I've studied this myself. Right? There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. And blacks been in Mexico since the 1500s and before the 1500s. I mean, the history runs deep, man. I can take you a whole lot deeper if you're ready. But you already know that a Spanish conquistador will never be honest about history. That's why they're trolling in my comment section. Let's get back to the Jenny 6ix9ine situation. Let's see what Adam 22 had to say about the Jenny 6ix9ine situation. You know. Let's get it.
You upset? You going off on Jenny 6ix9ine was funny.
Let's see what the 22ster had to say about the Mexican community being mad at Jenny 6ix9ine for twerking on Blueface lap.
I ain't even gonna say nothing.
We gotta talk about
You
that,
said
bro.
enough. You could look.
I want to hear you guys talk because I rewatched almost our entire conversation and nobody really was being that crazy about her, and I was holding her down. I was going hard defending her.
Yeah,
I was talking to her. I was saying that she's the hottest chick in the whole Raza scene.
And you got to listen back to it. It was.
She is the hottest chick in the whole Raza scene. Jenny 6ix9ine, she is. That's why they were pissed off, because she's the hottest chick in the Raza scene, and she was twerking on Blueface lap. So that pissed them off right there. The baddest chick in the game from the Raza community twerking on a black man. They didn't like that. Now, if Jenny 6ix9ine was a fat torta, then nobody would care. The Mexican community would say, oh, you guys can only get the fat women. They would have made videos saying that.
Was Lush, bro. Lush was on her ass.
Yeah,
bro.
Lush was talking about lefty finger.
It was stop. It didn't start back. He
man.
said, like, she's some type of princess. Like, she's a skanka.
Hey, guess what? Then y'all supposed to tell me, hey,
Shout out to Jerry for blessing the super chat.
don't talk about this.
No, that's how you
I'm
feel.
gonna pop it how I pop it.
Hell no, I
Until
don't know her.
if you say, hey, Lush, don't say this, that's sis, or or I'm trying to fuck on, I'm finna keep my mouth shut. Trust me, I'm a weak man of the year.
I
don't know, man.
But-
We got. It just depends on like what we talking about, because it's some bad hyenas out there, man. I don't know if she the baddest at them.
In the Raza, name one.
Shit,
we
bro.
gotta figure.
I think you're talking about
dive in
behind the
and see,
scenes. He
man.
not
I
talking
don't
about
see some.
He going with P Killer.
Stiff Barbie?
I'm taking
Stiff Barbie?
Jenny 6ix9ine all day.
Stiff, bro.
She don't even got enough like rank. I'm
What do you
sorry,
mean?
but she ain't like
Because
big enough.
Because people like you is pushing the Jenny 6 line.
We talk about
Instead of
you adding clout to
Total
ain't
package.
getting-
No, you got to
you
be
ain't getting
clouded
stiff
up.
for Barbie.
You can't be a regular on Fig. That ain't gonna work for me.
You gotta be clouded.
Adam said, you can't be a regular chick on Fig. You dig?
You gotta have some clout if you want to be involved in this.
Bitch got like 300K followers. You feel me?
All right,
You like-
because listen, if the girls were voting on like who's the dopest black LA guy, they're not gonna pick just some random guy from the set because he got nice facial features.
Yeah,
It's like
they're
you gotta have some accolades.
Hey, but guess what?
You gotta be somebody.
yeah, actually they are.
Hold on, that man went viral.
No, you got accolades.
That man went viral for his mugshot and became a model, bro. You remember that?
He's an exception to the rule. Yeah.
That would be Jeremy.
See?
Jeremy Meeks or whatever.
Wait, isn't he from
Shit.
somewhere?
Stockton?
He a Crip.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, but hey, look, I'll do it on behalf of No Jumper, Jenny 6ix9ine. Didn't nobody
blew him up.
Didn't nobody mean to
blew him up.
disrespect you, Jenny 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying?
The Raza community.
Adam was speaking up for you, and he's upset, and he still say you bad.
You know what? I felt
He said you
bad.
better than a toddler.
You know,
I've shown her way more love and given her way more promotion than anybody non-Mexican in Los Angeles. That's all I'm saying.
and honestly, please don't let me as an individual, in my opinion, be a reflection of Adam and his platform or whatever the fuck he got going on. I was juiced to see whatever you and Lena had cracking, Jenny. I'm very
Like Sharp said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. The Mexican community pissed off with Jenny 6ix9ine for twerking on Blueface's lap. Can you dig that?
disappointed that
Yeah.
that's not going down.
Yo, it'll be a cold day in hell when Lush Uno fucks up some pussy for me. God
Yeah,
damn.
You feel me? Like,
oh, y'all's gonna do that copy card thing?
I don't know, but it's funnier if we act like that was what the plan was. But I don't know. Honestly, her and Lena, literally, there's a YouTube short that I actually watched on the stream talking about doing content for 2 years. And when I say content, a bunch of TikToks with Lena, and then she canceled at the last minute. Not because of anything. I really said a lame reason to call out. Like, what the is wrong with you? And she tried to make it like, oh, No Jumper is not like a cool platform anymore. Like, what platform are you going to go on that has even like a 10th of the views that this platform gets? Where do you think is what is a bigger platform that wants to have you on, Jenny? End of conversation.
Well,
Checkmate.
It's not my fault that her pH was off and I brought attention to it. You feel
So
me?
you
Maybe
knew
she
about
didn't
How
have
do you
fucking
know
clue.
that though?
Because she talked about it. Because she did blogs about that shit and was
About her pussy stinging?
bro.
He gonna demonetize the video.
I just remembered I didn't do a title for this. God damn it.
You gonna get the
Man,
video.
whatever, bro.
Sorry.
You gonna get the video demonetized. Just say the box stink, man.
No, but guess
My
what?
bad, Jenny.
If
Jesus
she's supposed
Christ.
to be the brown side princess, maybe
that's a lot.
I'm jealous of Mexicans. This is why I'm speaking about Mexicans. Okay. I heard Sonny say that, right? So tell me what I'm jealous of. You guys want to do our music. We dominate rap. You want to do our music. You want to have the same influence that we have. You want the same exposure that we have. What am I jealous about? Now I challenge these buffoons. Say, you're talking about us. I'm talking about it because people want me to talk about it. People want me to expose this because a lot of people have been ignoring these conversations. So since people are going to ignore the conversation, I'm gonna bring the conversation to the forefront. Tell me what do Mexicans have? What do Mexicans have that we're jealous of? We don't want to dress like you. We don't want to talk like you. We don't want to make music that comes from your culture. You guys don't have anything that we want. So when you say jealous of what? Jealous of absolutely what? You guys have, and listen, this ain't no disrespect, but I'm just being real. Jealous of what? Now, hopefully he can give me a logical explanation and tell me why am I jealous of Mexicans?
the brown side brothers shouldn't have addressed their opinions publicly, and they should have called her about how she carried herself on that video.
No one get, but anyone that give a Blueface, she was busting
right,
because that was dope though.
But
who cares?
Hold on. I know we all feel you can do whatever you want to do with whoever.
I think that's the funniest thing I heard. Like, jealous of what? What do Mexicans have that black people want? Absolutely nothing. There's literally nothing to be jealous of. We don't want to make the same. We don't want to make music that comes from your culture. We don't want to dress like you. We don't want to talk like you. I mean, seriously, I'm just scratching my head like, jealous of what?
But the Raza was speaking out like that was disgusting. So if y'all felt that way, you could do whatever you want to
do. But anyone that give a Blueface, she was busting
right, because
now Munchie B is going to touch on the Jenny 6ix9ine situation, and we're going to push forward.
Was dope though.
But
who cares?
Hold on. I know we all feel you can do whatever you want to do with whoever, but the Raza was speaking out like that was disgusting. So if y'all felt that way, y'all shouldn't have did that via the internet. Y'all should have hit.
That is true. If you look at the phase that Mexicans and Latinos get, you got that from black people. Black people, we've been getting phase. You can go all the way back to the 80s. And you can see the fade haircuts that we were getting back in the 80s. Mexicans barely started doing this. And to be honest with me, you guys are swagger jacking us. You guys copy our haircuts. You copy the fades that we get. You copy our music. You copy our lingo. I mean, you guys are swagger jacking us. And I say it because it's true. This ain't got nothing to do with my feelings. It's actually true. Go back to the 80s and see black people with fade haircuts. Go back to the 80s, Mexicans was wearing their hair slicked back. And in the 90s, they started cutting their hair bald. Now they want to dress like black people and get fade haircuts and rap and replicate and imitate everything we do. You're imitating a whole nother culture, but you got the nerve to say somebody's jealous. You guys have nothing to be jealous of. We don't rock our hair like y'all. We don't rock our hair like y'all. You guys you're copying the fade haircuts from us. You're copying the music. You're copying the slang. You are literally imitating everything we do. Seriously. And I can prove everything I'm saying. I can show you black people in the 1980s with fade haircuts. If I show you if I went back to the 80s and showed you how Mexicans dress and how they rock their hair, man, come on, man. It's a dead giveaway. I got the receipts, homie. The facts are, I got the facts on my side. You don't. Mexicans used to wear their pants all the way up to their chests. And they had their hair slicked back in the 80s. It was slicked back. In the 90s, y'all started rocking bald heads. Looking like skinheads and Nazis with bald heads. That's what y'all was doing in the 90s and the early 2000s. Mexicans barely started getting haircuts. They barely started wearing fades. And they got that from foundational black Americans, 100%. We've been doing this. You guys just started doing it. We ain't new to it. We're true to it. You guys are new to it.
The brown side princess and said, hey, we don't like how you conducted yourself. I mean, maybe if you go get it on with Blueface, maybe y'all should have did They hit the brown side princess and said, hey, we don't like how you conducted yourself. I mean, maybe if you was gonna get it on with Blueface, maybe y'all should have did that off camera. And
Since when is that the way they?
You say you're talking about cholos in the ghetto. There are no more cholos. The cholo culture is dead. You know why cholo culture is dead? Because this new generation of Mexicans don't want to be cholos. This new generation of Mexicans don't want to be cholos. Cholo culture is dead. They get haircuts like black people. They talk like us. They rap like us. They mimic everything we do. So that is the reason that cholo culture is dead. The only cholos you're going to see are guys that are like 45 and up. Guys in their late 40s and 50s. Those guys are still cholo, like Dubs. Hey, Vato, like people like Dubs. Dubs is a cholo. Dubs is an old school cholo. But the youngsters and the teenagers, the Mexican cast that's in their teens, 20s, 30s, and even early 40s, those are not cholos, bro. They don't want nothing to do with cholo culture. They want to be embraced in hip-hop culture. Cholos are old men. Listen, cholos are men who are like 50 and up, or guys who are pushing 50. This young generation of Mexicans want nothing to do with cholo culture at all.
Internet works.
No. But I'm saying, but if you're supposed to, if they look at
you
her
of all people, bro.
No, if they looking at her in a certain light, and they thought she's supposed to come this, I'm coming like this. We're disappointed. I mean, if you're getting it on, we don't need to see the pre-gaming process, man. Do it on your, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't what
this
you do,
is the
it's how you do
problem.
it.
That's like saying Sukihana's like.
No, Sukihana gonna be Sukihana, and everybody, she not gonna get a call about it.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like in Jenny 6ix9ine,
we're not saying Sukihana is the princess of the.
But exactly, and that's not like, to me. That's not like
Zulu
the
Nation.
From what I'm hearing, that's how the Hispanics was.
She a badass, bro. She fine as. Bro,
am I wrong? Was they crowning her like she?
No, she like prime goon material, but she's not like Selena, fool.
I'm not
like
asking bro. You're not even Mexican, fool.
I do anything for Selena. You said who not a Selena?
Look,
I ain't gotta be Mexican.
No,
I'm asking you. Do the Mexicans that's how they was crowning her, like she's the princess of the they you know what I'm saying?
That's a marketing campaign. Shit.
You trying hard not to answer that, bro.
I'm saying
you know what it probably is. Probably just a lot of them. Probably dudes who spoke out was probably dudes that probably made passes and was trying to hit and probably got teased down, and they see her on stream with Blueface, and he in there with them boxer briefs. You know what I'm saying, like he ready to bat something.
And let's be real. A lot of Hispanic guys might feel a little bit of natural animosity towards African Americans for taking all of their baddest hoes. Honestly, it would be reasonable. I don't know if white people do this as well, but a lot of bad white chicks end up with black guys. White guys might be kind of salty about that. I've seen literal racist outbursts on the internet as a.
Of course, the Raza was mad that Jenny was on. Because Jenny 6ix9ine is the baddest Mexican chick in the game. So for her to be twerking on a black man, that made the Mexican community very upset. They were highly upset about that. They were making posts, they were making videos, they was making comments. Oh, Jenny is a thot. Oh, Jenny has no respect for her body. Jenny has no respect for the raza. You know?
He in there with them boxer briefs, you know what I'm saying, like he ready to bat something.
And let's be real. A lot of Hispanic guys might feel a little bit of natural animosity towards African Americans for taking all of their baddest hoes. Honestly, it would be reasonable. I don't know if white people do this as well, but a lot of bad white chicks end up with black guys. White guys might be kind of salty about that. I've seen literal racist outbursts on the internet as a result of this. So I don't think anybody should be that surprised. Honestly, I'm proud of the Mexican community as a whole for not being outwardly racist about her being sitting on Blueface's lap and everything like that, because I feel like there's probably a lot of that simmering under the surface floor, and they know that it's a bad look, so they're not letting it out. So shout out to them, not for being non-racist, but for at least hiding their racism a little bit better.
Oh, no, was being racist.
They voiced their opinion.
I didn't see it. With celebrities and no, I didn't see it.
Some fools was being like very mature and cool, like Baldacci. You feel me? Remember Baldacci from Florencia?
He's grown, sophisticated.
He like.
Is that the one like, man, she wants to suck some dick? Like, just let her. Like, what the?
That's,
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who she fucks. Like she.
All right, there you go. I don't want to use too much of that because of the profanity. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to the content, though. Yeah, man, show some love, man. It is what it is. You know? And we're not even mad at Lucky, man. You know, it is what it is. Lucky said that, hey, man, this is what Lucky said. He said, hey, man, let's dead all this, move on. I'll be more careful moving forward. So I'm not even talking about Lucky. I think Lucky said what he said, and it is what it is. So we're not even going to talk about that. Not like that anymore. We're going to move on to the next subject. Hit the like button if you haven't already. The game is heavy. Where are people at? Shout out to Ambitions as a rider. He said, I got to go, King. Catch you guys later. I appreciate you, Ambitions of a rider. Shout out to you, baby. I appreciate you for tapping into my show, sweetie. You always slide through and show your love and respect, your love and support. I appreciate you. You know? Yeah.
Type nigga, like she don't want the nigga with his pants put up to the banged out. She want a lefty, what's Shoreline Mafia type nigga,
or Peso.
Peso.
Yeah, they're all likely candidates
what's the little
to smash.
Nigga, Player Wave.
Yep.
All those guys that you name, Munchie, are guys who are pretty much acting black. You know, all of those guys. That's your boy Young and Hefe. I'm gonna show you the clip, man. And I don't know why some of these black podcasters like, man, I don't want to go back and forth about this. It's like, bro, you didn't already, you go back and forth with black YouTubers all day. Seriously. You go back and forth with black podcasters all day.
Flashbacks of her Diddy functions that she used to go to.
You know what I'm saying? No, they won't go back and forth with Mexican podcasters, and I'm not saying that they should, but if you go back and forth with black people all day, then why you got a problem with me saying what I got to say? Why you got a problem with me addressing the community? You know? Where you guys at, man? Listen, I got another clip for you guys. Make sure that you bless the like button and support the show. Shout out to Scoop in the building. Shout out to the beautiful ladies in the building. Shout out to Crazy Goose 408. Shout out to you, baby. It's Crazy Goose always showing up, showing her love and support. It is what it is. Realism, and make sure that you guys bless the like button. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you guys something. And you're going to love this right here. Let's go to the next clip.
My body count is 2.5 right now.
That's crazy. You know, but here's the thing, though.
See, this is when she was with Blueface right here.
Well, I guess like the body count restarts like when you get out of jail, right? Period.
Or $50 off a 6-month supply of contacts.
What should we play?
She had her lingerie on, and Blueface had his shirt off. You know, Blueface had his shirt off. He flexing. He fresh out of prison. Got the Latina rocking with him in there, man. This is what it was about.
Oh, the Mexicans who are low key racist against blacks are coming out. Okay, wait, we gotta play this. So this is a clip that has been going viral. Jenny 69 links up with Blueface.
Bust down, Tatiana.
Has a lot of Raza podcasters upset about this.
Yes, we are watching this from the Hater World Media.
A lot of Raza podcasters pissed off.
Podcasters upset about this.
Yes, we are watching. Has been going viral. Jenny 69 links up with Blueface.
Bust down, Tatiana.
Has a lot of Raza podcasters upset about this.
Yes, we are watching this from the Hater World Media. Yo, the Mexicans who are low key racist against blacks are coming out the woodwork.
That's pretty much what it is. Let's just be real.
Yo, this,
they wasn't fooling with their.
This is a honeypot. This is meant to bring the racists out of their holes.
That pissed them off. They was mad. They mad.
Oh yeah. She gets wiped up by a black dude, and if he's treating her like the way that he's been treating all these other in his life, oh my God. The Raza podcast might really come into their own that content.
Where was
Hey, Adam speaks the truth. One thing I can say, Adam said the Raza is gonna be pissed, eh?
this outrage when she was, her and Lefty were doing their little like slutty videos.
He's the Raza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's amazing. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly. That's what, and that's the whole point. I think that there's a lot of people that, because like anybody that thought that Jenny 69 was like the Chicana princess or like the voice of the young Latina, you're out of your fucking mind. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Keep going, Lush. Keep going, Lush.
Man, them. You feel me? Fuck? What? Nah.
Man, Lush, man.
Listen,
keep going, bro. You cooking. You cooking.
She talking about I'm the no. They trying to like put her in this exalted.
Got any calls? Yeah, for sure. She for sure got calls.
Okay, can everyone stop talking about this and then we'll play the clip and then we'll talk about it?
No, it's an exalted position.
No, you have to promise that you're going to not talk during this, Lush, because I
put a one in the chat if you feel like the Raza is racist and jealous towards blacks. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like the Raza has the right to say. I mean, everybody has the right to say what they want to say. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like the Raza are copying black culture and they're mad that they can't be as successful in our culture as we are. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that.
I feel like I'm gonna press play and you're just gonna start talking.
Cheers. This is like my 20th shot.
Blueface in there with draw.
This man,
Let's go,
this man has
Blueface.
asthma.
Get it.
Yeah, you guys, I'm awake right now. They said blue running.
Look at Blueface like, man, let's stop playing. What's up?
Man, so this is, they're mad about this. This is what they're mad about. This whole African booty scratcher, the Mexican dude called us an African booty scratcher because of this right here. And he was talking, hey, would you date a black guy? Do you think that Blueface is handsome? Would you date a black guy? She said, no, why not? Why not? It's like Lucky was baiting her. This whole African booty scratcher thing stems from this Blueface situation. It stems from jealousy. They were so pissed off about this that they had to call this man an African booty scratcher and disrespect the whole race, all because they were mad at this Mexican Latina for sitting on Blueface lap. Crazy.
When I first saw this, when I first saw, it keeps going.
It's wandering around.
When I first saw this and I pressed play on it, I thought she was about to say, "It's happening."
Yeah.
Like I actually thought that she was parodying it. Just for the record.
Hey, they mad. They know he beat.
Nah, man. They can't.
What time is it there?
My body count is 2.5 right now.
That's crazy.
You know.
She was in lingerie, man. She was looking sexy, smelling good, looking good, twerking on Blueface. That's where the African booty scratcher come from. They was mad. You know how many Mexicans were talking crazy about Jenny 69? Oh, she's a traitor. She was over there with a mayata. This is messed up. She has no respect for herself. She disrespected the Raza community for twerking on a black man. Oh, this is messed up. Our women don't respect themselves. Man, it was so many Mexicans pissed off with Jenny 69 for twerking on Blueface. It was ridiculous.
Like that's, I actually thought that she was parodying it, just for the record.
Hey, they mad. They know he beat.
Nah, man, they can't.
What time is it there?
My body count is 2.5 right now. That's crazy.
You know,
but here's the thing, though.
Well, I guess like the body count restarts like when you get out of jail, right? Period.
Or $50 off a 6 month supply of contacts.
What should we play?
What should we play?
Yeah.
Her ex-husband is sick.
Oh yeah, he's
Fuck, throwing up at home.
He's from Riverside. He definitely pissed.
She's digging a hole in the ground right now.
So you don't get out of this fool? This fool.
Fucking broke, fool.
Dude, you're fucking broke. You're down bad.
Fucking down bad, fool.
Let me see. What is this? Pandora?
No, SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. This man. Let me see.
Follow my SoundCloud.
What should we listen to?
You gave her SoundCloud to play music?
Okay.
Ain't that weird?
No Spotify?
That wasn't even the good clip. That's one of her twerking.
Hey, hold on. Why are you still using SoundCloud?
Sitting on his lap all that.
Wait, but what's great? What's amazing about it is how she is so out of pocket, taking 20 shots. She's turned up. She's talking, etc. And he don't give a. He's just chilling. He's acting like he's with a regular ass bitch. He don't give a at all. And she seems like she's ready to do anything.
It happened.
When she was twerking in front of him, he livelied up a little bit. There's one little clip, but he really
was twerking on. I want to show the part where she was twerking that thing on Blueface. That got the Raza community pissed. They was infuriated. Oh, they was mad that she was twerking on this brother. They got so mad that they made a video talking about African booty scratchers, all because of this.
he's like, you're right.
Because he really be knocking down hella celebrities, bro. Like he fucked Coil Ray, Meg Thee Stallion, all these different random famous, you know.
A lot of people hit Megan, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like
That still counts for sure.
He's like,
Bad.
if I was in his position, I would be the same way. Where it's like, you a famous girl just because she's famous. It don't matter anything else. You just got to check that one off the list, and then you can keep it moving.
Yeah,
I like that about him. I feel a kinship with him because of that.
I think that Blueface definitely looks cool as here. You can't really hate on anything that's going on. He's about to smack Jenny 69 down. That's pretty lit. Jenny 69, the fact that people have her exalted, like, nah, bro. She's like, drive down Whittier Boulevard right now, and there's 30 that are one BB.
Now, if you guys want to hit the link, man, hold on.
Away from being better than her. I promise
that
you.
Is cap and a half.
She's not, bad, bro.
She's bad.
She is bad.
Out of here.
She's regular Whittier Boulevard, bro. Right now.
I hate when people say that because people always say like, "Oh, if you go to every hookah lounge, you can find 10 ruby roses." It's like,
that's not true.
Serious.
That's not true.
If I could find a ruby rose at the hookah lounge, I would be going to the hookah lounge. I would
live at the hookah
it's
lounge.
Like it would just be like female beauty. Like I'm not saying that Jenny 69 is like the hottest chick of all time, but she is pretty up there.
Man,
she's hot.
We could go to Hong Kong right now.
If Jenny 69 wasn't beautiful, the Raza wouldn't care. If Jenny 69 was a fat woman or a torta, as they like to say, then they wouldn't care. If Jenny 69 was a fat Mexican woman, they wouldn't care about her being with Blueface. It wouldn't matter. But she's a sex symbol for the Raza community. So this is why they're pretty upset about that. If she was fat and unattractive, they wouldn't care. That is a fact.
Now, Adam, you could smack down like five.
Bro, bitches look different at night in the strip club when it's darkest. And they got pink lasers flashing everywhere. You're doing meth. You're doing fentanyl. You're doing all that good. These look different. We've seen her under the bright lights.
No, she's hot, fool. She's definitely bad, but it's not about her looks.
You see how bad the on Fig actually look when they slow down the camera as they're passing by? Oftentimes, my reaction is not like, oh, she could be a big porn star. She could be famous. She could be popping. No, my reaction is like, oh, that's a disgusting, burnt out meth head. Like, she looks horrible.
Diamonds in the rough.
Like, I can't believe it.
Hey man, you can pull up on Fig and see some sexy bras down there. Now, if you're willing to pay and you're a customer, then pull up and handle your candle. You understand that? You did. Put a bra down on Fig and put her in the wig and get the bread. You did. It's all about this ism, pimping, macking. What's crack-a-lacking? What's happening? Yeah. Yeah, it's all about this ism, baby.
Anybody's.
Hey, no, there's been some you put a baby in looking on Fig, and if you didn't know better, you would do it.
For real. No, that's
I don't know. I ain't seen it. Not that look like Jenny 6'9".
Can we take like a field trip, no jumper field trip?
But the thing is,
people want to believe that she's regular because it makes them feel like they're chicks who are on par with her.
See, guys who say, oh, she's regular, tell these guys to show their women. Tell these guys to show the woman that they're dealing with. And I guarantee you she's a 4 or a 3. It's a lot of cat. Oh, Jenny 6'9" is regular. She ain't bad. Okay, show your woman. Bet money you won't do it. She's a torta. You got a torta. Come on, homie. You got a torta, homie. Of course, Jenny is sexy. That's why the Raza is so pissed off about it, fool. Jenny 6'9" was working on Blueface. Blueface is a black fool. We don't want our hyenas twerking on blacks. She disrespected the Raza community for twerking on a black man. This is messed up, Holmes. Jenny has no respect for her body. She let down the Raza community. They made several videos saying that.
Like, oh, my bitch regular, so look at she regular too. She's on the same level. No, she is more upper echelon. I'm not saying she's a supermodel. I'm not saying that she's the most diehard possible, but she's at least an 8.
She got videos talking about Monostat 8. You feel me? Like,
what is that?
What is that? No, Monostat 7. That's what used to watch their cooch out. Like it's like
what's wrong with that? My bitch douche every single time we shoot content. She douches before and
hold on, what
she was talking about having bacterial vaginos.
That's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah, you got to douche. Get rid of all that.
To me, like
I'm just saying they all putting boric acid in there to clean it out.
No, man, it's just it's a lot of bad Latino bobs out there, man. I don't know, man. She ain't the baddest, man.
Man, find me a better one.
You're tweaking
in this Raza scene.
Okay, like
who's hotter than her in the Raza scene?
We got. I mean, I can't just name one off back. I'm just like really. I don't even know who she is. Right? Yeah, we got to pull some up.
Oh, that's messed up. Don't be twerking on a black man. You're supposed to keep it within a raza. Jenny 6'9" is desperate. She's twerking on Blueface. Hey, homie.
I swear to God.
If I show you her music video, she looks even hotter.
I didn't know.
If I pull up her Instagram, you're going to be like,
YouTube.
Yeah,
right. Big on YouTube.
Look at this. This is
TikTok.
This is some top-notch cooch right here.
People are tripping though because
Adam said, "This is some top-notch box right here. This is some top-notch Latina box right here. This is why the Raza is so pissed off about it." Let's be honest. If Jenny 6'9" was a torta, a fat woman, they wouldn't care. Jenny 6'9" received a whole lot of backlash from her community for twerking on a black man, which was Blueface. Those are the facts.
She's a
top-notch cool.
People ain't tripping. Raza tripping.
Okay, yeah.
Because damn, a black can't spank it down.
I'm pretty sure that where was this outrage before? Let her be a thought. Like, why is she have to be held to this exalted standard? Just let her be a bot.
This is why. Come on, man. They don't want to see no Latina like this twerking on no black man. They already feel a certain way about black people. So to have one of their sexiest, hottest Latinas twerking on a black man, nah, they didn't like that. You remember Old Boy and Belly? Nah, I don't like that. I'm gonna drop a dime on them. I don't like that. I'm about to drop a dime. Remember Old Boy and Belly eating that banana? when he seen them New York cats getting all that money, you know what I mean? I don't like that. I'm about to drop a dime on these fools. A sexy Latina ain't got no damn business twerking on a black man.
Because she the biggest female.
Because she's hanging out with the blacks.
But would black dudes be mad if a Mexican dude was hanging with one of the biggest, you know what I'm saying, like black female? Like that
No, they might have jokes, but I don't think they'd be mad.
Nah, I don't be no jokes.
Nah, hell no.
Would it be the same reaction?
Nah, black niggas don't give a fuck.
Hell no, we don't.
You know where it gets the matter?
We don't.
If it's a white,
like.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't think you.
I agree with you. It was Southern California Mexicans, right? It wasn't Mexicans from Northern California. It was Mexicans from Southern California. But Mexicans from Southern California, those are conquistadors, man. Southern California Mexicans are similar. They're conquistadors. You didn't see Mexicans from Texas saying anything about it. You didn't see Mexicans from Northern California saying anything about it. What you seen was Mexicans from Southern California that were pretty damn pissed off about it.
Had no big black platforms coming out to my, oh, she's with Wooty Woot, man. He's you know what I'm saying? Nah, hell no.
So if Lefty Gunplay was it?
Let's see what Renegade Media had to say.
Hey guys, welcome back. So the internet is on.
Now this is what it is. This is what, man. Hey, check it out, homeboy. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back. So the internet is on fire right now. Jenny69 thought she was just linking up with rapper Blueface, but instead she walked straight into a storm. The backlash is crazy, the comments are brutal, and even a few rappers jumped in calling her everything but her name. After the meetup went public, people started flooding the comments saying she was doing too much for clout. Some are claiming she only hangs around certain rappers for attention, and the hate went up fast. Jenny was catching hate from every direction, but it didn't end there. Negra from Indicted TV posted a video dissing her and basically said the whole link up was embarrassing.
Oh, she like, yeah, come get it. Look at Blueface. Blueface over there rubbing his hand. Like, I'm gonna come get that. Yeah, shout it. I'm gonna come get that. Sitting up there looking like a prime rib. Blueface like, I'm gonna come over there and smack that. I'm gonna come over there and tap that. I'm going to wax that ass. Wax on, wax off like Daniel-san. You remember Mr. Miyagi? Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off, Daniel-san. Jenny69 is twerking it, throwing it back. Blueface about to sit up there and smack that. Blueface about to sit up there and clap that. Wax on, wax off like Daniel-san on that Wu-Tang, that Poo-Tang, man. Yeah.
Now, Jenny didn't stay. It didn't end there. Negra from Indicted posted a video dissing her and basically said the whole link up was embarrassing. Now, Jenny didn't stay quiet. She posted a message that fans think was a direct response to the diss video. She didn't say names, but the shading was obvious. People ran with it instantly. Then, earlier today, Negra went live and doubled down. In the live stream, she explained exactly why she has a problem with Jenny, which we will get into in just a moment. But first, let's hear what the public had to say about the link up and Jenny69 herself. This person said Jenny is the next Selena Powell. Best thing the baby daddy did was to leave her. Yeah, Lefty hit. She definitely got stretched. He found the Rottweiler he was woofing about. Perishable item. Shotty's been passed around by everyone. From Lefty to Blueface, them STDs spreading like a wildfire. Jenny be doing anything but watching her son. And there were many, many more comments just like these. And like I stated, there were a few rappers who are not too fond of Jenny69 who spoke out, like as you can see here, Mr. Capone,
No, Mr. Capone, he's from a Mexican gang, but he's a Pakistani. He said, this is who y'all call queen. Come on, Mr. Capone, you're from Pakistan. Why are you worried about what Latinas are doing? Because she want to clap it for a real one. She want to clap it up and twerk it up for a black man. You dig what I'm saying? So why would Mr. Capone, who's a Pakistani, and have a problem with it? See, he thinks he's Mexican because he's from a Mexican gang. So he feels like that gives him the right to police Latinas and they box and who they give it to.
Said this is who y'all call queen. On of Jenny 69 who spoke out, like as you can see here, Mr. Capone, who said this is who y'all call queen. Y'all should have listened to Pinks. And speaking of her, she didn't hold back about Jenny. If you remember, Jenny accused Lady Pinks of allegedly jumping her, and things have been messy ever since. Some think that part of the hate might be about race, but both Mr. Capone and Lady Pinks have denied that. But now moving on, let's get into what Negra had to say about Jenny 69.
Damn, Jenny. Honestly, as a woman, I feel bad for you, way. Like, como dices tú, you're giving pobrecita vibes. You're giving, like, desperate vibes. Collabing is one thing. Behavior is another thing. You know, y luego estás online llorando que porque la vida está como está, why people do whatever they treat you, how they treat you, you know, while you go through the things that you go through. It's because you put yourself in those situations. It's sad. It's sad that you, like, have to go out like that, bitch. Like, what is your fucking problem? You're giving straight sucia, Figueroa, desperate, pobrecita.
Now, why is this Mexican chick mad at Jenny 69? This woman been to federal prison. She's from the Raza. She's from a Chicano Mexican gang. What makes you think you have the authority to police Jenny 69's box and who she gives it to? You got Mexican women mad at Jenny 69. You got Mexican men mad at Jenny 69. All because she was twerking on a black man.
That vibes, bitch.
And this was Jenny's response. It's always the same dusty, dry PUSSY hoes that come out when they see me popping my pobrecita. Like, girl, you know damn well you could never. And this is what Negra had to say this morning on live.
That's on Jenny's.
Now, listen, Negra is an older hyena. She got to be at least 40. Stop hating on Jenny. You're at least 40. She can give her box whoever she wants to give her box to. Come on. She can give her box to whoever she wants to give it to. Seriously. This is comedy. Stop being jealous. It is her vagina. It is her box. She can give it to whoever she wants to give it to. The Raza community shouldn't be mad about that. You got Mexican women and Mexican men and Pakistanians from Mexican gangs who are mad at Jenny 69.
Clap back. She didn't clap back to me because
me popping my pobrecita. Like, girl, you know damn well you could never. And this is what Negra had to say this morning on live.
that's on Jenny's clap back. She didn't clap back to me because she didn't even say my name. That wasn't meant for me. I don't know what she's talking about.
She don't want to say your name because she don't want to give you clout. So why would she say your name? But you know that she was talking to you. You know she was talking about you. But she didn't want to give you clout. She just said, okay, this woman, she's clearly hating on what I'm doing. But anyway, let's get back to the content.
I personally said it. And just for you guys, if you guys really want to know, I don't really care what the girl does. It's not my, it's not my, it was just my opportunity. You guys don't, well, maybe you guys do know. I don't like people talking about my family. I don't like people talking about my family. And she's lucky. She's lucky that I didn't speak about her family and her personal issues that she has because I am respectful. I am respectful. When people speak about my family, I'm gonna speak about you, point blank. And I am not beefing. Good morning, I'm definitely not beefing. I just had to take that little opportunity to say what I felt. I have God. God is good to me. God is very good to me. That's not even a case in my life. God is in my life always. I came a long way and I'm grateful. I'm super grateful. It doesn't matter how it seemed. That's not the way it was. It's how people want to make it. Like I said, she's lucky I didn't speak about her personal, actual life. And I used what she put out there to make fun of her little ass. Like, so what? Como que ella doesn't, like, she doesn't make fun of people online and calling people's names and doing this and doing that. Que no se haga la niña santita tampoco, porque tampoco le queda. La vieja ya tiene 32 años. A lo mejor 33. It doesn't matter what you say. This is not about that. It's not about that, you guys. It's about the fact that ain't nobody gonna just speak about my family on certain platforms and think that I'm not gonna say anything. Like I said, she's lucky I didn't speak about her personal issues, her personal life, because that's more disrespectful. I'm not like that.
Why would you want to speak about her personal life? The woman ain't speaking about you. I'm pretty sure she's not even thinking about you. I'm pretty sure. And make sure that you guys get the likes up. If you haven't got the likes up, make sure that you do so for sure. Jenny 6ix9ine is not worried about you. So why are you even talking about her? I'm just saying. This is pure jealousy. You can't police who Jenny gives her box to. Let me say this again. You can't sit up there and police who Jenny gives her box to. Blueface is popping. Black culture is popping. Mexicans are trying their best to imitate black culture. So she said, I might as well bust it wide open for a real one. Do you know that you got a Mexican rapper called himself P-Face Baby? And I need you guys to bless the like button, man. We should have way more. We should have at least 500 people hitting that like button. We should have way more likes on this video. Get the likes up. So if you guys want me to drop the link, which I will, but you guys got to get the likes up. Get us a few more contributors on the super chat and cash apps, and I'll drop the link. I'll pull some people up to speak because we got a lot of trolls. So I want to see some people who actually appreciate the content. Then I'll drop the link and bring some people up to speak. But we only got 200 something likes, and we had over 500 plus people watching. The numbers ain't adding up. Bless the like button. Now let's get back to the content. Jenny can give her box whoever she want to give it to. The only reason that this Mexican chick is making a video about Jenny is because she was twerking on a black man. Now, if she was doing all this twerking for a Mexican guy, she would have nothing to say. She would have nothing to say if Jenny was twerking on a Mexican guy. When Jenny 6ix9ine was twerking on Blueface, it exposed the racism in the Mexican Chicano community. It exposed their racism. But then again, I'm from Los Angeles, so I already know. This right here is just for the rest of the world to see. Jenny 6ix9ine twerking on Blueface exposed the racism from the Raza community. Oh, she shouldn't be twerking on her. Oh, she did it. There's no way she would have called Jenny 6ix9ine desperate if she was twerking and dancing for a Mexican man. She did it for a black man, so the Raza community was pretty upset about it. That I'm giving you the facts.
I'm nice. Family on certain platforms and think that I'm not going to say anything. Like I said, she's lucky I didn't speak about her personal issues, her personal life, because that's more disrespectful. I'm not like that. I'm nice. But don't think you're going to ever talk about my family on certain platforms and just me not say anything. Like, everybody is the same. Bitches ain't special. And it is personal. Definitely personal. But I'm not mean. I am not mean, because if I was mean, I would have spoke about her and all her personal issues that she has, because that's not me. I'm very nice. I'm nice. But don't think you're going to just speak on my family. And I'm not going to say anything. That's what people don't get. And I just say things off with my chest. I'm not going to fucking be hiding, and I've been blocked. So, because I did get in her DMs before. I am worried about me, and that's why I said.
I will open the lines, man, but I said we got 500 plus people watching. As soon as we get 500 likes, I'm going to drop the link. As soon as we get a few more contributors, We only ask that 10% of the audience support the content. So as soon as we get 4 more people to bless the super chat and the cash app, and we get 500 likes, then I'm gonna drop the link. So it shouldn't be that hard. Bless the like button and support the content, then I will drop the link. Put some respect on the show for Sugadale for show. You already know. Game delivered by King Supreme in a major way. Realer than rap, no cap, spitting this ism, giving you the hard-hitting facts. Now let's get back to the content.
Something. Don't you think you're going to ever speak about my family and me not say anything? That was just my opportunity to respond. Like, it's okay for you to talk about my family, but I can't speak about you. You ain't special. We're all the same here, you guys. That's personal. She knows. She knows. I want to talk about her family and her what they go through and her child and things like that.
I appreciate everybody that's been blessing the like button. Now, as soon as we get a few more contributors, I'm gonna drop the link. We had 300 plus likes, get us up to 500 plus likes. But I appreciate everybody that's been doing their job on that like button. Then we'll drop the link to pull some people up to speak.
Not what I do. That's not what I do. And it's not about her making moves. I don't care. I used to cheer for her. I've been around her. I went to her treintañera. There's a lot of things that people don't know. But it's not for you guys to know. So yeah, I definitely took this opportunity to be nice and say things in a nice way. I could have been mean. I could have been ghetto like her. It definitely wasn't racist, so don't even make it like that. This is the narrative that the people that don't like me are making. Come on, man. And no sean babosos, you guys. Let's be real. There's only certain people that said that. There's only certain people that said that. And those certain people is where she went to go.
You're jealous of Jenny 6ix9ine. This Hyena is clearly jealous of Jenny 6ix9ine. She's jealous. Blueface wouldn't want you twerking on him. And that's not because she's an ugly woman. What I'm saying is she's an older woman. And shout outs because there's a lot of beautiful older women. But what I'm saying is she's clearly jealous of Jenny 6ix9ine. Because why are you talking about her? She wanted to twerk on a black man. She wanted to show her lust, love, and affection for a black man. That's her business. So why make a video about that? You did it out of jealousy. And there's borderline, there's a lot of racism with this. There's animosity between the black and brown community, and the animosity comes from the brown community because Mexicans have told their people a long time ago that black people are this, black people are that, stay away from them. The Spanish conquistadors have brainwashed Latinos to be racist against blacks. Those are just the hard-hitting facts. If Jenny 6ix9ine was twerking on a Mexican, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. You wouldn't even see these videos of Mexicans saying that she has no class. They're only saying that she has no class because she was twerking on a black man. Why wouldn't she twerk on a black man? Listen, if you a hyena that's hot in the game, you a beautiful Latina, a Mexicana, and you see your people copying black culture, mimicking black culture, well, why not link up with the real deal? If my people are copying black folks, why not just link up with a black man? If Mexican men are trying their best to imitate black men in hip hop, I might as well just link up with the real deal Holyfield. That's exactly what Jenny did. If Mexicans are imitating black culture, why not just hook up with somebody from black culture, the same people that Mexicans are trying to imitate? That was a power move on Jenny 6ix9ine's behalf. I'm going to just link up with the people that Mexicans are imitating. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. And that was the mindset of Jenny 6ix9ine.
Speak. So you guys are too smart to be thinking like that. Don't forget what my name is, you guys. When you guys are like,
shout out to you, the guy, for blessing the super chat. Yeah, Jenny wanted to link up with the real deal. If Mexicans are imitating black people, well, I'm going to just hook up with the man that they're imitating. You got a Mexican rapper called P-Face Baby. You had another guy that was a Southsider. He wasn't even Mexican, but he was from a Mexican. He called himself G-Face. You got Blueface Baby, and you got this Mexican dude that call himself P-Face Baby. Stop imitating, stop swagger jacking. P-Face Baby got his whole lingo and style from Blueface. P-Face Baby? What? You guys are not even original. You're copying black people's swagger. You're rapping like us. You're imitating everything we do. Of course, your women gonna listen. If black men were trying their best to imitate another race, then of course our women would want to be with that other race. Mexican men are trying their best to imitate black people. That's why so many Mexicans and Latinos want to be with black men, because Mexican women are saying, well, if Mexican men are imitating black men, I might as well go be with the real thing. I might as well go be with the real thing, since Mexican men are copying black men. Mexicans are the knockoff Dollar General version, the dollar store version. I can just go get with the real thing. Since Mexican men are copying black folks so much, I'll just link up with a black man, the real deal. Come on, homie, let's make it make sense.
Here, ay, pobrecita, like, pobrecita, why? It's okay for her to talk about my family? It was exactly about her behavior.
Shout out to Solo Dolo for the Cash App. I mean, am I making sense or not? Am I making sense or not? The reason that so many Latino women want to be with black men, because they see Mexicans and Latino men copying and imitating black men. Dressing like us, talking like us, mimicking everything we do. So Latino women are saying we might as well get with the real deal, which is a black man. Because Latino men are trying their best to imitate black brothers. Come on, homie.
Behavior, and she's, like I said, she's lucky I didn't speak about her family and her personal issues. This was just my little opportunity to, girl, it's not, you just can't say whatever, talk poop about people and think they're just gonna not say anything. I'm sorry that I got a platform and people shared my stuff. I didn't tag anybody. I didn't do any of that. I couldn't even tag her because I've been blocked. I tried to be in her DMs before, and as soon as I did, and she didn't like what I said, and I said it in a very respectful way, she blocked me. So it is what it is. So like, people that want to be calling me a hater because, oh, she's collabing, girl, I do not give a poop. I would love for her to, be a successful woman. Like, I'm still not.
Women are going to go for the authentic. If Latino men are copying black men, this is why Latinas are saying, I might as well just get with a black man, the original, the real deal. Mexicans are the great value version, and black men are, you know what I mean, the real brand. Like, listen, homie, great value is the knockoff brand of the real deal. So why get with the great value when I can get with the real deal? I'm just giving you the real spiel. Don't get mad at the truth. Don't get mad at me for telling the truth. Hyenas want the real deal. That's exactly what they want. Why get with the imitators when you can get with the real deal? Let's make it make sense, homie.
People started flooding the comments saying she was doing too much for clout. Some are claiming she only hangs around certain rappers for attention, and the hate went up fast. Jenny was catching hate from every direction, but it didn't end there. Negra from Indicted TV posted a video dissing her and basically said the whole link-up was embarrassing. Now, Jenny didn't stay quiet. She posted a message that fans think was a direct response to the diss video. She didn't say names, but the shading was obvious. People ran with it instantly. Then, earlier today, Negra went live and doubled down. In the live stream, she explained exactly why.
And she's not a bad-looking Mexican woman, but you can tell she got a BBL. Then you got, arm tattoos are never sexy on a woman. Let me be real with you. Like, forearm tattoos are never sexy on a woman. That's masculine energy. I don't like women with forearm tattoos and all that. It's a terrible look.
She has a problem with Jenny, which we will get into in just a moment. But first, let's hear what the public had to say. just linking up with rapper Blueface, but instead she walks straight into a storm. The backlash is crazy, the comments are brutal, and even a few rappers jumped in calling her everything but her name. After the meetup went public, people started flooding the comments saying she was doing too much for clout. Some are claiming she only hangs around certain rappers for attention, and the hate went up fast. Jenny was catching hate from every direction, but it didn't end there. Negra from Indicted TV posted a video dissing her and basically said the whole link up was embarrassing. Now, Jenny didn't stay quiet. She posted a message that fans think was a direct response to the diss video. She didn't say names, but the shading was obvious. People ran with it instantly. Then, earlier today, Negra went live and doubled down. In the live stream, she explained exactly why she has a problem with Jenny, which we will get into in just a moment. But first, let's hear what the public had to say about the link up and Jenny 6ix9ine herself. This person said Jenny is the next Selena Powell.
All right, now listen. Let me see how many people. Hold on 1 second. He said, I guess the Christopher Columbus curse was true. BBL stink. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I agree. No BBLs.
Mad that we didn't clap at you fucking period. And she was mad. For her to make that pose, the bitch was mad. Like, bro, it wasn't even that serious. Like, why are you mad? Like, you're mad that we didn't clap at you fucking, like, I don't care. I don't care. That shit was hilarious. You care and you mad. I was definitely mad. I was definitely mad when she spoke about my family. You better believe it. You better believe it. What do you think? People are going to be, oh, let me just let people talk about my family and it's all good because it's Jenny. Está bien pendeja. Come on, guys. Let's be real. She's beautiful and you're not, and that's okay. It's okay. That's okay. That's your opinion. Should I sit here and cry because she's beautiful and I'm not? She doesn't even believe she's beautiful, you guys. Let's be real. I don't need you guys. Please don't get me.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. And a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but nobody likes to hear the truth. Mexicans are cosplaying black culture. They are cosplaying. They're swagger jacking. They are literally swagger jacking. They are. They are cosplaying and swagger jacking. Everybody with common sense could see that. They're not bringing anything original to the rap game. It's like you're just mimicking what you see black people do. Latinos are not bringing anything original to hip hop. They're not bringing no original dance moves. They're not bringing no original rap style. They're not bringing anything original to hip hop. They're trying their best to imitate. They're trying their best to replicate black culture. So the Mexican hyenas are saying, well, shit, man, I might as well get with the real deal. If Mexican men are copying black men, I might as well just get with a black man. Or at least have the experience of being with a black man. Come on, y'all. Huh. And let's keep the language clean. I'm gonna add my man Big E to the stream. Big E, man, what's your thoughts on everything?
Man, what it do? Salute, Red. Salute, chat. Man, at this point, this just sounds like a bunch of just ridiculousness. You know what I mean? It just sounds like a bunch of crybaby-ish. You know what I'm saying? They sound like the little brother who can't do the same things that the big brother do. You know what I'm saying? You know how the big brother can go out with his friends while the little brother got to be stuck at the house crying. But it seems like these Mexicans is crying to their zaddy so they can go along with us. I want to go. Like, dude, come on, man. Y'all always crying about something. Okay, so what? She twerked on Blueface. How the hell do that affect you? You know, y'all be hollering, y'all want to get in the rap game. Well, Blueface is in the rap game. He obviously could open doors that none of y'all can because nobody is jacking y'all for y'all talent. I mean, y'all need to kind of stop this. It's almost like y'all are trying to force people to, it's almost like y'all are trying to force people, you know, into liking y'all music, or you're trying to force your way into a genre when you got trash music. All y'all got to do is make good music. If you make good music, this wouldn't be no issue, but your music is not good. So nobody's jacking it. So now it just seems like you crying to be in it, your music being garbage. This right here is a whole nothing burger. So what? She twerked on Blueface. A lot of y'all probably did a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? But what are you crying for every day? Like every day is black people this, black people that. But if you'd have stayed, if your parents would have stayed in Mexico where there is no black people, you probably wouldn't have nothing to cry about. Now, would you? Every day, black people this, black people that. Oh, it's not considered racist, but everything we do is considered racist. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, y'all sound like a bunch of crybabies now. Y'all want to be, y'all sound like a bunch of baby gangsters that's trying to push for a race war. You know, you sound just like them white boys that's trying to push for a civil war. But y'all seem like y'all are trying to push for a race war. What is it? You figure if you start a war with the blacks, he'll let you stay in the country? Is that what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? What is criticizing us getting y'all? Criticizing us is still getting you throughout the country. Criticizing us still ain't gonna make nobody like your music. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, that's what we talking about here. Obviously, the black rappers can open doors that none of y'all could open. So what are you crying for? I mean, every day, y'all got something to say. Y'all making videos talking about Red is racist. How is Red racist for pointing out what y'all do? How is Red racist for pointing out historical facts? How is Red racist or anybody racist when we tell y'all our experiences when dealing with y'all? How is Red racist when you do team up with the white boys when you go to jail? How is Red racist when you did go to court for the right to be white and they turned you down? How is this racist by pointing all this stuff out? I mean, real talk. These are all facts. Ain't nobody making this stuff up about y'all. You know what I'm saying? But again, why are y'all not crying to them white people? That's who y'all wanted to be like. You know, y'all don't have nothing but disdain for us, so why do y'all want to be around us and do what we do? Like real talk, like that's a real question. If y'all got such a problem with us, why didn't your parents stay where they were at? Where there is no black people. Why didn't y'all stay where y'all came from to do what y'all needed to do for y'all country? Y'all swear up and down y'all created hip hop, but hip hop ain't being played in no Mexico. Ain't nobody in no Mexico. Ain't nobody in no Mexico. Ain't nobody in no Mexico rapping on no level like that. You know what I'm saying? To where it's you know, the African rappers are doing better than y'all. And we don't like them either. But your culture is not rap. You didn't start rapping until you got over here next to us. Period. We know that. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Mexico right now, ain't nobody in no cipher in Mexico. We ain't seen not one studio in Mexico. Y'all don't rap in Mexico, and y'all know it. Y'all came over here and saw what we was doing, and y'all started biting us. Everybody, because even your zaddy see it. I think that's why y'all are really mad. I think y'all are mad because Zaddy accepted our music and buys our music, and they don't buy y'all music, and they not jacking y'all. Nah, JP, it's the truth. What's nonsense? See, that's what I'm saying about y'all. Y'all always say it's some nonsense every time we point out that bullshit y'all do. What's nonsense? Y'all all racist when you get in jail. You do team up with the Aryans when you get in jail. There is no rap culture in no Mexico. What are you talking about? What is nonsense? What's nonsense is the role that y'all be trying to play every time y'all get over here. What's nonsense is y'all always claim to be victims of something that we did to y'all. And that's bullshit. The best thing y'all, or bull crap, the best thing y'all be having is, oh, what about when he robbed that taco vendor? Nigga, shut up. Nigga, shut all the way up. The nonsense is this broad here sitting up here crying because somebody else twerked on Blueface. That's what that is. The nonsense is y'all ass, your trash music, and you sitting up crying because nobody buying that. That's the nonsense, bruh. Every time y'all don't agree with something, y'all say it's nonsense, but that don't mean that it's not true. Y'all act like y'all came over here and y'all getting the bum rap. Y'all act like y'all didn't come over here gangbanging. You act like you didn't come over here selling dope. You act like you didn't come over here committing crime. Nigga, you was doing the same things we was doing. What's nonsense? Nigga, ain't nothing innocent about y'all, nigga. Talking about y'all hard working. Yeah, some of y'all do work hard, but y'all also hard working criminals too. So nigga, let's stop acting like you getting some kind of bum rap. You ain't getting no kind of bum rap. You can't tell us what our experiences with you are. And again, if y'all are so irritated and so mad about us, why don't you just go back where you came from? It's really that simple, right? Then you ain't got to deal with no black people, right? You ain't got to worry about your people twerking on Blueface, right? You ain't got to worry about your vendors and all this other crap y'all be saying, right? But no, you don't want to do that because you too scared to go make where you came from great. All you rather do is come over here, pick up the stuff they said, and lie on us. Bro, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, I'm going to land it with this, Red. Right now, y'all just sound like a bunch of crybabies and mentirosos. That's what y'all sound like. Why don't some of y'all grow the hell up, make quality music, and mind your business? And I'm going to pass it with that, Red. Who sound like MAGA? You sound like a deportee. What you talking about? Don't nobody give a damn what none of y'all talking about. So what? If I do sound like MAGA, nigga, I voted for Trump. And what you gonna do about it? How about that? Y'all always come in with that boo. What's that supposed to mean? I sound like MAGA. What's that supposed to mean to me? So what? And what is it to you? What the hell are you talking about? What difference is it to you how I voted? All MAGAs are the same. Nigga, shut up. Y'all only saying that because you being deported. Y'all had no problem with MAGA last year, did you? You had no problem with MAGA 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, did you? Now, yeah, Mexicans voted for MAGA too, so I guess that means you sound the same too. You remember, y'all did vote for Donald Trump, remember? You voted for that, remember? So what are you talking about? Why are you in here talking about I sound like MAGA? All your people, all of them. I don't care what group it is. Whether it was Puerto Rican, whether it was Mexican, whether it was Dominican, all them Latino groups voted for Donald Trump. So what do you think that make you sound like? Let's really do some. The man said he was going to do the biggest mass deportation the United States have ever seen, and guess who was stupid enough to vote for him? Are we really going to go there? Do we really want to go there? The man said that he's going to kick all of your asses out of the country, and you voted for him. Are you really want to? Do you really want to go there with me on that? You voted for you to get your own behind kicked out the country, and you talking about how somebody over here sound? Guess what? I don't have to worry about MAGA kicking me out the country. I don't have to worry about MAGA coming on to my job. I don't have to worry about MAGA going to the schools and picking up my kids, and I ain't got to duck behind trees and be hiding under cars just to go pick my kids up from school. I ain't got to do all that. So what are we talking about here? Y'all voted for your own deportation, and then you on here crying talking about y'all come help us. Who sounds like what? I would rather sound like MAGA than sound pathetic, because that's actually pathetic. To vote for your own deportation, then cry to the group of people that y'all all got smoke for. What kind of shit do that make? Y'all ain't made one video asking that white man to stop. Y'all ain't made one video on asking none of these other non-MAGA white people to come help y'all. Every video y'all been making is, where's the black people? Oh, y'all are going to be next, etc., etc. After you voted for the goddamn man who said he was going to kick you out the country. So I don't want to hear nothing about no MAGA. You sound stupid. El stupido. El retardo. What are we talking about here? Y'all voted for your destruction. You did that. So really, to be honest, don't nobody want to hear y'all call anybody stupid. Don't nobody want to hear y'all say anything about anybody as dumb as that move was. But to be honest, as racist as a lot of y'all are, I'm glad you did it. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm glad you did it. You know what I'm saying? Now you getting your wake up call and you still crying to us. Come on, bro. Nah, dark ego. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You voted for your own deportation. Stop, nah, bro. Y'all always crying. Wasn't y'all crying about the pop out concert? I think that's Mr. Blunt. Wasn't y'all just crying about a pop out concert that y'all wasn't invited to? Y'all was just crying about that, right? You ain't in your homeland. You sold your homeland. Stop, man. Stop it. Stop it. If you was in your homeland, y'all wouldn't have ran up out of there by the millions, right? Y'all literally ran up out of your homeland by the tens of millions, right? And the federal government said, nah, you got to take your ass back, right? What are you arguing with me for? Why are you not arguing with the federal government? Who is telling you you got to go? So you telling me that this is your homeland, it really don't mean nothing, because guess what? Yo Zaddy said it's not. Yo Zaddy said y'all got to go, right? So it don't matter what you telling me. So if this is your homeland, why is your Zaddy throwing you off of it? Like, come on, let's make sense of this here. Yo
All
Zaddy
right, Biggie.
told you y'all got to go.
Let me bring up Scoop. Scoop, you there?
For sure.
Scoop, where you at, Scoop?
Salute, Red. Salute to the chat. Man, this is a heavy topic as usual. It always is. But somebody got to be truthful. And if you want the truth, you come get it from Red Supreme. Now, what I'm finna say probably gonna piss some people off. But I'm with Big E on this one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all voted for this. But then you call us anti-black slurs, and then you claim that we create division when we call it out. Make that make sense? We creating division because we call y'all out on y'all anti-blackness. And then what y'all counter with? Well, blacks are just as racist. Nobody's as racist as blacks. We don't have the power to be racist. See, that's that south of the border Pelican Bay education that you bring with you. Learn what the word racism means. It does not mean prejudice, and it does not mean bigoted. We don't have those powers to be racist. We don't control a system. The system that controls racism is the people that you voted for, the people that you got up there on stage cackling, laughing. Hell, y'all would have been better voting for Kamala. She wouldn't have let you, she would have kept y'all here. Matter of fact, she'd invited you here to meet Indians and the rest of these migrants, these illegals. She would have had y'all all over here partying. But you couldn't stand to see her in power because she looked to you as being a black woman.
See, that's the problem. Y'all ain't even got enough sense to know what black is, even though y'all got black in your country. But you shun them. Anything that's darker than y'all shun. You know, remember La Raza, whiten the race? Ain't that what y'all about? Anybody that says they want their race whiter is not a friend to black people. You want to imitate those folks, and you're doing everything to do it, but yet and still, when those folks come for your head, why you run back to the dark people that you have such a problem with and want us to be out there marching with you? No, we not finna be target practice to help y'all. So when y'all have shown us several times again, once y'all get our assistance, you go back to being the anti-black people that you've been. Period. There is no us and them. There is no Latino and black. There is no black and brown coalition. There has never been. Name me a time where there was. It was what's called tolerating one another. Y'all lived where we lived, and we all tolerated each other. That's it. We had maybe, you know, if you was a black woman, maybe you had a couple of Mexican girls you was cool with. If you was a black guy, maybe you had a couple of Mexican dudes you was cool with. But as a community, heck no, y'all know y'all abuelos don't like us. You know that. You know they teach against intermingling with us, being around us, or damn sure inviting us to the cookout or in the house. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It was far and in between. You had select people that you dealt with. So why all of a sudden now you feel you can lean on the black community for support? You can lean on the black community to be there for you. You can lean on the black community no matter how many Mayat days you call us. Do you think we just that dumb? See, one thing this internet thing does, it gave us a platform to speak and tell y'all the real, because evidently y'all been walking around stuck on ignorant. You really believe that we supposed to rescue you, but you ain't no different than yo zaddy master, because that's the same thing they believe. Everybody comes and asks black people for their support. But then the minute y'all feel you don't need us or things are going your way, you sit up and disrespect us. You trying to tell us y'all was here before we were. You trying to tell us we all came on slave ships. That's another lie. You trying to tell us we all came from Africa. Another lie. You trying to tell us you created hip hop. Another lie. You trying to tell us you created certain foods when we did. Another lie. You trying to tell us we never built nothing. Another lie. You don't even know your own history, but you want to tell us about ours. Even when we tell y'all what our history is, what we've done, what our accomplishments, all our inventions that we made, you know what you guys say? You say the same thing them folks that you love say. Y'all blacks didn't invent nothing. You're lazy. You don't want to work. You make babies. You don't take care of it. Your men are thugs and criminals. The same thing, but you ran from a land that sounds just like that. What you think your homeland is? Because if your homeland was great, you'd still be there. And then you come with, oh, well, Africa's a crap hole. Y'all didn't build nothing in Africa. If y'all was such builders, you'd have built something that and ain't none of y'all ever touched foot on the continent. None of y'all. But want to tell us what the motherland looked like. You don't even know. Because I know you ain't been there. I can tell you ain't been there the way you talk. You repeat the same talking points that them folks do. Because you want to be them so bad. And now that we delineating and say, you know what, enough is enough, we gonna come out, tell the real, whether you guys like it or not, because that's the problem. You don't like it because your ancestors has indoctrinated you into believing that everything came from them. You can't name five, and I'm gonna put that on you, 5 towns that were burned down by them folks, the folks you honor. Because we got way more towns that was black built with black money. But you can't name that. The only thing y'all didn't even know what Juneteenth was, and y'all got mad because you wasn't invited as big as you say to the pop-out concert. Didn't know what Juneteenth is. That tells us you don't know history. You come here and don't know history. And you anchor babies that's here don't know history. You don't know the history. You don't know that wouldn't be America if it wasn't for my ancestors. We tell y'all my ancestors built the White House. You call us liars about everything we say. Well, then, you know what? If that's the case, and and somebody that I mess with is calling me a liar constantly, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and I do, then that friendship is over. Why am I gonna mess with you when every time I turn around you calling me a liar and I know I'm telling the truth? But once again, where's the black community? How come you guys ain't out here marching? You just got your answer. I just gave you the answer. I gave you the answer why we be ignorant to support you people or support anything y'all got to do. Y'all calling us liars, telling us we lazy, telling this. Look at that man in Chicago. You lazy, you lazy. No more money for you. No more money for you. You lazy. Oh, that's how y'all feel? That's how y'all feel about us? Well, guess what now? You own your own, amigo. You own your own. We ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. We ain't got an enchilada, a burrito, a taco, a chimichanga. We ain't got nothing for y'all. Y'all on your own. Do it yourself. Since you so smart. Since we so lazy. Since we ain't got nothing going on. That's why y'all mad at this Latina. Because it's like, hey, the blacks ain't helping us. We don't want. Why y'all messing with them? Why are you sitting on Blueface lap? Because as Red said, if that was Mexican man, you wouldn't say nothing. If it was a white zaddy, y'all would have loved it. Y'all would have been out there cheering. Yeah, we fit in. We wanted him. She got her a zaddy. We wanted him. Red didn't prove that and showed receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt. Y'all ain't came with near receipt of nothing. Y'all can't prove we didn't build this country because evidently you don't read books because if it's in books, all you got to do is start opening up history and it'll show you who was here, who built. But you don't want the truth. You live in a lie and you want the lie, and your lie is to hurt us, just like them folks. And you want us to sit back, be quiet, not say nothing, and just take it. Black folks is tired. We tired of them folks, and now we tired of y'all. We tired of everybody stepping on our neck, telling us what we need to do, what we should have done, what we shouldn't do. No, but when we say something about that, that's Latino business. Oh, that's white business. Black people need to mind their own business, and that's exactly what we doing. We minding our own business, taking care of home first. We dealing with us first. We handling our problems first. The heck with everybody else and what they got going on. We don't care. You can call us whatever you want to. We don't care. You can say whatever you want about us. We don't care. You can get mad at us all you want. We don't care. And I'm going to end it on one more time for everybody to know. Put the black fist in the air. This FBA thing is not for the weak. And I'm landing it there, Red.
Man, that was some heat. That was some heat, man. But all I'm gonna say is this: black people built the White House. Black Americans built the White House. All you got to do is study it. It's in the history books. The wealth in this country came from the free labor that we gave America. The founders of Los Angeles were black aboriginals, black people. Of course, with some others, but half of the people who built Los Angeles were black. I gave you the historical facts of the founders of Los Angeles. Blacks been in Mexico prior to the Europeans ever showing up, prior to the Spanish conquistadors showing up. There was already blacks here in the Americas. This is a known fact. It's a historical fact. It is scientifically proven, right? Blacks, we are the original race on planet Earth. There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. I tell you guys no lies. I'm giving you the irrefutable facts. The irrefutable facts. Mexicans in East Los Angeles have firebombed black people apartments just for living over there. So they ain't got no damn business talking about racism. That is Ku Klux Klan behavior. When Mexicans started moving in black communities in the 80s, we didn't burn down their households because we didn't burn down their apartments and houses for moving in our communities. We didn't. You hate the same people you imitate, and that is a major problem. Music influences culture. Do you know that black people during the 1940s assisted the Mexicans in the Zoot Suit riots? Do you know that blacks in the 1940s in Los Angeles assisted the Mexicans in the Zoot Suit riots? The Mexican Pachuco culture came from the Zoot Suits. You know, Dane Calloway, the brothers from Harlem, New York, the jazz musicians would perform on Central Avenue in Los Angeles. That's where the Mexican Pachuco culture came from. They was heavily influenced by the jazz musicians that performed on Central Avenue in Los Angeles. History repeats itself. The Mexicans of today are heavily influenced by hip hop. Black people who do rap music. We've always dominated music, and whoever dominates music influences the culture. You can't name a time in history where black people was influenced by Latino music. You can't show me a time and era to where that was actually true. It's never happened. Everybody has always been influenced by our music, and music influences culture. Foundational Black Americans, we are the dominant culture. We create the music that influences everybody worldwide, hands down. Seriously. If you go to Mexico, la la bamba, the black people created that. The black people in Mexico created La Bamba, but guess what? They put a white Mexican. They used a white Mexican to be the face of La Bamba, although the song was created by the melanated black people in Mexico. Why? This is a known fact. Richie Valens performs La Bamba. La Bamba came from black folks. You got a lot of Mexicans today don't even know that black people created the song. They don't know that because they don't study history. This is why I call some of these people conquistadors. If you studied the history, you would know who created La Bamba. And telling the truth is considered racism to them, which is crazy. It's like, come on, man. Telling the truth is considered racism. Hold on 1 second. So I'm just giving you the facts. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that. Hold on. Hit the like button. It ain't nothing. Now, this is scientifically proven. I showed this yesterday, and I'm going to show you this video again. Blacks are the original people on planet Earth.
Did you know the first Mexicans were black, according to this renowned Mexican scholar?
And scholar came up with this. This is not a black person, but of course we have black people who discovered this as well. A Mexican scholar told you the first people of Mexico, because keep in mind, there was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. The Aztecs were not, listen, the Aztecs and the Mayans look nothing like the Mexicans you see today. The Aztecs and the Mayans were dark-skinned, melanated people. They didn't have Spanish conquistador blood.
Claim might sound surprising and perhaps... Did you know the first Mexicans were black, according to this renowned Mexican scholar? This claim might sound surprising and perhaps even challenge our understanding of Mexican history, but it comes from a credible source. Let's introduce Vicente Riva Palacio, a man of great intellectual prowess and political significance in Mexico. He was not just a politician but also a respected intellectual who made substantial contributions to Mexico's...
And I'm going to bring you more historical facts, but this right here is from a Mexican scholar who told you the first people of Mexico, and it wasn't even called Mexico. They called it Mexico later on. But I'll get into that history, and I'm going to break down a lot of this history this week.
Intellectual heritage. Palacio, the grandson of the great Mexican revolutionary and President Vicente Guerrero, played a pivotal role in fighting off the French intervention of Mexico in the mid-1800s and President Vicente Guerrero, Mexico's intellectual heritage. Palacio, the grandson of the great Mexican revolutionary and President Vicente Guerrero, played a pivotal role in fighting off the French intervention of Mexico in the mid-1860s. Following his tenure on the Supreme Court of Justice from 1868 to 1870, Palacio dedicated himself to writing. One of his most significant works acknowledges the black indigenous presence in the Americas. Intrigued? So, let's dive into the story of Vicente Riva Palacio and his research into the black indigenous presence in the Americas. Vicente Riva Palacio was not just any scholar, he was a man of action and thought. Born into a lineage of revolutionaries, he carried the legacy of his grandfather, the great Mexican revolutionary, and President Vicente Guerrero, who won Mexico their independence. But Palacio didn't just—
Vincent Guerrero, also known as El Negro, won Mexico their independence from Spain. Gaspar Yanga, a black man in Mexico, fought to liberate Mexico from Spain. They fought for Mexico's independence. It was a black man, Vincent Guerrero, nicknamed El Negro, who abolished slavery in Mexico.
Revolutionary, just any scholar, he was a man of action and thought. Born into a lineage of revolutionaries, he carried the legacy of his grandfather, the great Mexican revolutionary, and President Vicente Guerrero, who won Mexico their independence. But Palacio didn't just inherit a legacy, he built his own. He was a politician, an intellectual, and a fighter. During the mid-1860s, Palacio played a vital role in protecting Mexico during the French intervention. His courage and strategic brilliance were widely revered, but his contributions didn't stop at the battlefield. Palacio was also a respected intellectual, dedicating his later years to the craft of writing, adding to the intellectual prowess of Mexico. Elected to the Supreme Court of Justice from 1868 to 1870.
And shout out to Black Indigenous American. This comes from the Black Indigenous American channel. Salute. Make sure that you check out this channel. I give major props and major support. You got Mexican scholars, white scholars, and black scholars, scientists, anthropologists who are telling you the first people of the Americas were actually black. Is that surprising? No, because blacks, we're the first human beings on planet Earth. The Spanish conquistadors lied about everything, erased the history, then rewrote history. That's why you got so many conquistadors in my common sense punching in the air, windmilling, because they don't want to accept the facts. It goes against their indoctrination. What I'm talking about is scientifically proven, and it goes against these conquistadors' indoctrination. That's why they're windmilling in my comment section. Don't know what to do with themselves.
Palacio's influence was felt far and wide, but it was his pen that left an indelible mark on the canvas of history. One of his most famous works, a collaboration with Mexican archaeologist Alfredo Chavero and others, was entitled Mexico Through the Centuries. This historical opus was more than just a chronicle. It was an acknowledgement of the diverse roots of Mexican culture. It was a journey through
black people. A black man freed Mexico and gave Mexico their independence. Vincent Guerrero. Black people was in Mexico fighting against Spain. Gaspar Yanga, Vincent Guerrero. Tons of black people were fighting against the Spanish in Mexico. A black man in Mexico abolished slavery. Vincent Guerrero, the second president of Mexico, his nickname was El Negro. El Negro abolished slavery in Mexico. That was a black man.
Time, tracing the footprints of the first inhabitants of the Americas, offering insights into their lives, their struggles, and their contributions to the world as we know it today. Mexico Through the Centuries was not just a book, it was a milestone in Mexican historiography. It was a testament to Palacio's intellectual prowess and his commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how uncomfortable or controversial it might be. It was in this very work that Palacio made the groundbreaking acknowledgement of the black indigenous presence in the Americas. So, What exactly did Palacio say about the black indigenous presence in the Americas? Well, let's dive into the heart of the matter. In his work, Mexico Through the Centuries, Palacio delves into the mysterious origins of the first inhabitants of the Americas. He starts by questioning the existence of the black man on the continent. According to him, the black race was the first in the world and spread all over it due to the union of the continents. He poses a thought-provoking question. Did the Otomi already exist here when the black man arrived? The Otomi for the question. Did the Otomi already exist here when the black man arrived? The Otomi, for those who might not know, are an indigenous people of Mexico. He suggests that the black race might have been expelled, leaving behind traces that contradict the autochthonous characters of the Otomi race. Palacio then draws our attention to the archaeological evidence. He points out the little heads from Teotihuacan, an ancient Mesoamerican city located in a sub-valley of the Valley of Mexico, as a clear trace of the black race. These little heads made of clay were found in burial mounds among various objects. Palacio suggests that these heads were not formed arbitrarily, but were modeled after certain individuals. He notes that some of these heads have distinct features like flattened noses and protruding lips, which could only be attributed to individuals of the black race. Flattened noses and protruding lips, which could only be attributed to individuals of the black race. He goes further to say that among these little heads, some belong to known types, while others refer to figures and headdresses that are completely strange and different from those recorded in historical times, indicating unknown ages and races different from those of later times. In essence, Palacio believed,
Man, people like Dubs talk about prison all day, and he claims that he's helping the Raza community. Dubs went to prison for unaliving somebody who looks just like him, and he makes content about prison stories all day, and he got the nerve to say that I'm spreading hate when all he talks about is prison. Nothing productive. How can a guy who in PC who talk about prison stories all day criticize the content that I make when I'm giving you guys historical facts, real education? I'm not sitting around talking about prison stories all day.
that these little heads are a testament to the ancient existence of the black race on the continent. According to him, the discovery of these heads of the black race type is enough to venture the affirmation of their ancient existence in the region. According to Palacio, these archaeological findings are clear traces of the black race, indicating that they were among the first inhabitants of what is now Mexico. So, the first Mexicans were black, according to Vicente Riva Palacio. This is not a frivolous claim. Palacio, a respected scholar, politician, and the grandson of a revolutionary, left no stone unturned in his research. His findings, as documented in Mexico through the centuries, revealed the existence of a black indigenous presence in the Americas.
Come on, man. This is scientifically proven. You got scientists, anthropologists, and just, people who've done the research, people who did their homework. The original Mexicans were not pale skinned. The original Mexicans did not have European blood. The Mayans did not have European blood. The Aztecs did not have European blood. These were dark-skinned, melanated people. The Spanish conquistadors conquered Mexico and erased the history and told their story.
Americas. This was a time long before the arrival of the Otomi, one of the earliest known inhabitants of Mexico. Palacio's evidence? Intriguing little clay heads discovered in the ruins of Teotihuacan, an ancient city in Mexico. These artifacts, detailed with flattened noses and protruding lips, were indicative of the black race. The uniqueness of these facial features, so distinct from other types known in historical times, led Palacio to a bold conclusion: the first Mexicans were black. This is a fascinating topic that challenges our conventional understanding of history and reminds us that there is always more to learn. This journey through America's hidden past is just beginning. If this glimpse into a world lost to time has captured your imagination, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more adventures into the unknown.
There you go, man. For real black history. Shout out to and this is a dope channel right here, man. This is a real dope channel, these are scholars, Black Indigenous American. These are scholars. Right? And let's talk about the Black Panthers. The Brown Berets copied the Black Panthers. The Brown Berets copied the Black Panthers. So black people have always influenced Latino people. I'm gonna show you something, and a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but I got to show y'all anyway. I'm gonna show you how the LULAC leaders, League of United Latino Citizens. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm gonna show you right here how our civil rights leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, our civil rights leaders fought for the civil rights of all minorities and people of color. The LULAC organization, which is the civil rights leaders for Mexicans, they fought to be legally white, man. They fought to be legally white. Latino civil rights leaders did not fight for the civil rights of people of color. Mexicans fought to be legally white. They tried to assimilate to whiteness, to white culture. They fought for white acceptance. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna show you what the civil rights leaders, the LULAC organization, fought for, and how the LULAC organization was anti-black. I showed it before, but I'm gonna show it again to prove my point. I can bring you all the receipts of everything I'm talking about. Check this out.
Like to support the channel.
I could be wrong, and I hate to be wrong, but I know it's in remembrance of a massacre that took place, right?
The deals of the police.
Mexican civil rights leaders did not fight to create better opportunities for people of color. They fought for Mexicans to be accepted by the white race. When black people fought for civil rights, we fought for the civil rights of all minorities and people of color. That's a major difference between what our civil rights leaders fought for compared to what their civil rights leaders fought for. So when Latinos tell you they fought for civil rights, no, they didn't. They fought to be legally white. I'm giving you historical facts. Mexicans may not like this, but I am telling the truth. Let me show you what the LULAC organization fought for.
Right? Correct? Correct. But I'm also going to bring up this one thing as well.
League of United Latino.
Dr. Hector Garcia was a physician, military veteran, and advocate for the rights of Mexican Americans. Quote, "We are not and have never been a civil rights organization personally. I hate the word." Hector Garcia, founder of the American GI Forum.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
By the early 1950s, the American GI Forum, while still denying that it was a civil rights organization, sought to end discrimination in Texas schools, in employment, and in the use of public spaces. The core strategy depended on educating Anglos that Americans of Spanish-speaking descent or Latin Americans were Caucasian, and that to identify them as anything but white, whether on birth certificates or traffic citations, was illegal. Making any distinction between Latin Americans and whites, he wrote, was a slur, an insult to all Latin Americans of Spanish descent.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
John James Herrera was an American attorney, activist, and leader in the Chicano movement. Quote, "Latin Americans of Mexican descent belong to the Caucasian race and are therefore white." John J. Herrera, LULAC President, 1952. John James Herrera joined the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, in 1933 and began practicing law in Houston, Texas in 1943. During World War II, he was involved in the movement to end employment discrimination against Mexican Americans in Houston shipyards. In 1948, he joined the legal team that brought the school discrimination case of Minerva Delgado against the Bastrop Independent School District to the Texas Supreme Court. The ruling declared educational segregation of Mexican American students illegal in Texas.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Felix Tijerina, 1905 to 1965, was a Mexican American restaurateur, activist, and a philanthropist in Houston, Texas. He served as the 25th president of the League of United Latin American Citizens. Quote, "Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with them." Felix Tijerina stated that his mission was to help Mexican Americans merge into the American mainstream as successfully as he had, and that early Mexican restaurants like Felix's were among the first institutions where urban Anglos and Hispanics rubbed elbows. Tijarinas, Americanized version of Mexican cooking, was what brought the races together, and it was a triumph of diplomacy. Walsh also added that Tijarina's style of cooking was not about bringing authentic Mexican flavors to Texas, it was about putting Anglos at ease with things Mexican.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Gustavo Gus C. Garcia, July 27, 1915, June 3, 1964, was an American civil rights attorney. Garcia worked with fellow attorney Carlos Cadena in the landmark case Hernandez versus Texas, 1954, arguing before the United States Supreme Court for the end of a practice of systematic exclusion of Hispanics from jury service in Jackson County, Texas. Gustavo stated this: I know Negroes aren't getting their full share of democracy, but frankly, I'm prejudiced against Negroes, and I do not believe that they are entitled to everything that we get. Garcia served as legal advisor to the League of United Latin American Citizens from 1939 to the 1940s. He was elected to the San Antonio Independent School District Board of Education in April of 1948, but later resigned. He helped revise the LULAC Constitution to permit non-Mexican Americans to become members in 1949. In that year, he also served as a lawyer to the family of Felix Longoria and helped contract negotiations for the rights of workers in the United States Mexico Barcero program. On May 8, 1950, Garcia and George I. Sanchez appeared before the State Board of Education to seek desegregation enforcement.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Anti-blackness is a part of their culture. Look at their civil rights leaders. Their civil rights leaders were anti-black. And where did their civil rights leaders get their anti-blackness from? They got it from the Spanish conquistadors. Listen, homie, I'm bringing you nothing but facts. Mexicans and Latinos did not fight for the civil rights of minorities and people of color. When Mexicans called themselves fighting for civil rights, they fought to be white adjacent. They fought for white acceptance. They didn't fight for conditions to be better for people of color. They fought to be legally white, man.
A lot of Hispanic and Latino parents will literally try to teach you at a young age to not be friends with black people, and it's disgusting. They show you racism, anti-blackness, like colorism at a young age. You could be a dark-skinned Latino, and yet you will get a lot of hate. Not only that, media will even show that too, where literally they show that white Latinos are literally rich, smart, educated, and they're always holy. But when it comes to black people or Afro-Latinos, they're ghetto, they're poor, uneducated, and they're criminals.
You know, the crazy part about it is Mexicans, you're going to have Mexicans and watch and say, no, this is not true. Man, please. This is documented. These are historical facts. If you look at the racism that the Spanish conquistadors took to Mexico, now you understand why there's so much anti-blackness all over Latin America, not just Mexico. It's embedded in anti-blackness is embedded in their culture. But of course, you're going to have several Spanish conquistadors in my comment section saying, oh, no, this is not true. It's not true. You're damn right it's true.
And not only that, a lot of these celebrities believe this too. And also, they do blackface. And that's why a lot of people don't want to unite when it comes to the Hispanic and Latino community, because of the amount of fucking anti-blackness the racism towards black people. And not only that, y'all forget that literally black people have influenced our community so much, from technology, from food, to even music. And some of y'all be dancing to those music that literally were influenced by black people.
What does civil rights mean to you? So given the work that you've done on the marker, the fact that you're part of La Típica and all.
Listen, homie, I have the documented facts. I'm giving you the irrefutable facts, historical facts. Oh, no, it's not true. You damn right it's true. Talking about, oh, no. See,
I mean, it goes back to like all the way back to like.
See, the truth goes against their indoctrination. I'll say it again. The truth goes against their indoctrination. They've been brainwashed by Spanish conquistadors to believe that false history that they've been indoctrinated with. That's why they say, no, it's not true, even when you give them the historical facts, the irrefutable facts. Oh, no, it's not true. You a Spanish conquistador, so of course you're going to say it's not true. You've been indoctrinated and brainwashed by these people. Mexicans fought to be legally white. They didn't fight for the civil rights of people of color. They fought to be legally white. They fought for white acceptance, man. Foundational Black Americans are the ones who fought for the civil rights of all people of color. Foundational Black Americans are the ones who fought for the civil rights of all minorities, all people of color. That's why, listen, that is why when immigrants come to this country, they have civil rights. The civil rights that we fought for as foundational Black Americans. Latinos fought to be legally white. That is a historical fact.
The United States invasion of Mexico, because Mexico was colonized twice, first by Spain and then by the United States. And when the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which then, like, you know, the U.S. stole like half of what the United States is used to be part of Mexico. And as part of the treaty, Mexicans who were now living in that territory were given U.S. citizenship. But at that time in the Congress, there were laws that said that only free white people could be citizens. So here comes Mexicans who are not white, who most of them were not white. I mean, there were some Mexicans that were, you know, Spaniards that were born in Mexico and they were now called Mexicans, who were white. But the majority of the people who were quote unquote acquired in that territory were labeled white. And that, I mean, when I go back to it, I'm like, that created such a host of issues because uno se las creyeron. Like, uno se la creyeron. Los que no se la creyeron continually have sought whiteness as a way to advance, as a way of economic mobility, as whiteness, as se las creyeron. Like, that created such a host of issues.
She's telling you when Mexicans fought to be legally white, they felt like if they fought to be legally white, that would give them more opportunities, but they weakened their people because they fought for white acceptance instead of fighting for the civil rights of people of color. That is a historical fact. They fought for white acceptance. They didn't fight so that people of color could have civil rights. They said, no, if we fight to be legally white, then maybe we would have the same rights as white people. That's why they did it.
People who were quote unquote acquired in that territory were labeled white. And that, I mean, I'm
going to show you the founders of Los Angeles were black people. A lot of the founders of Los Angeles were black people. You don't know nothing. Black people put Los Angeles on the map. The rappers. Have you ever heard of Biddy Mason? The rappers, the entertainers. Black people put Los Angeles on the map, not Mexicans. Mexican culture, Mexican people mimic black culture. Black culture is what made Los Angeles popular. If you go back to the 1930s, it was the black jazz musicians who influenced Mexicans to wear zoot suits. Music influences culture. Go back to the 1930s when the black jazz musicians on Central Avenue in Los Angeles would perform in Los Angeles, the jazz musicians, and everybody wanted to be like the jazz musicians. That's where the Pachuco culture came from. They copied and mimicked Dane Calloway and the Harlem Renaissance brothers from New York who came to Los Angeles, and you had black jazz musicians in Los Angeles as well, on top of the ones that came from New York. That's where the Mexicans got the Pachuco Zoot culture from. The Zoot Suit culture. The Zoot Suit culture came from the black jazz musicians who made Zoot Suits popular. Black folks put Los Angeles on the map, not no Mexicans or Latinos. That is a fact.
White, but the majority of the people who were quote unquote acquired in that territory were labeled white. And that, I mean, when I go back to it, I'm like, that created such a...
Our movies, Crips and Bloods, musicians, our athletes and entertainers, black folks put Los Angeles on a map, not Mexicans. If you're being honest, you know I'm telling the truth.
That were born in Mexico and they were now called Mexicans, who were white, but the majority of the people who were quote unquote acquired in that territory were labeled white. And that, I mean, when I go back to it, I'm like, that created such a host of issues because unos se las creyeron, like unos se la creyeron, los que no se la creyeron continually have sought whiteness as a way to advance, as a way of economic mobility, as a way to protect themselves from racism and discrimination. It has never worked out to try to veil ourselves under whiteness, but that's like partly where it comes from. Is all the way back to then, all the way back to Mexicans being an unwanted bounty of war, because the way that the border was drawn and the land that the United States acquired or stole from Mexico was specifically drawn so that they would get the most amount of land with the least amount of Mexicans, because they viewed those Mexicans as a problem.
That is a fact. Now let's go to the Los Angeles founders. I'm going to show you the black people who founded Los Angeles, some of the black people who built Los Angeles. Oh, they're going to be punching the air on this one. Oh, they ain't going to like it, but they're going to have to deal with it. Oh, have you heard of Betty Mason? Most Mexicans ain't never heard of Betty Mason. Never heard of this woman. Check this out right here.
Before Los Angeles had a skyline, before Spring Street was called the Wall Street of the West, a black woman, born enslaved, quietly bought the ground beneath it. Her name was Biddy Mason. She didn't ask for permission. She mastered freedom, money, and land. And the ripple of her choices still moves through this city today. Biddy Mason was born on August 15, 1818, in the American South. Enslaved from birth, she learned midwifery, herbal medicine, and the skills to deliver life under pressure. In the late 1840s, she was forced west, first to Utah, then to San Bernardino, California. California was a free state on paper, but enslavers tried to drag black people back into bondage anyway. In 1856, when her enslaver attempted to move the family to Texas, Biddy stood up. With help from free black Angelinos.
No, I'm setting the record straight about history, because you Mexicans have been lied to about history, and you're coming with that Spanish conquistador knowledge. You're coming with that Spanish conquistador history. So I'm making this content to set the record straight about history, to let you know that blacks been in Mexico, blacks been in the Americas, and black people helped to fund the city of Los Angeles. I'm giving you the irrefutable facts. That's why I'm going so hard on the subject to debunk the lies coming from you Spanish conquistadors who call yourselves Mexicans. Shout out to the Mexicans who understand the real history. Shout out to them. But you Mexicans who think like Spanish conquistadors, I'm doing content like this to debunk the false history, the false knowledge that you've been spreading for decades. Yeah, now deal with the facts. I'm giving you the irrefutable facts. Too many black people have been silent about this, but I decided to be vocal about this.
Especially the Owens family and allies in the courts, she petitioned for her freedom. Judge Benjamin Hayes granted it. Biddy, her 3 children, and others walked out of court free. But freedom is a start, not a strategy. Biddy went to work. She nursed. She midwifed. She became indispensable in a small, growing Los Angeles, often working with local physicians. She saved every dollar. She gave generously to people in need. And she helped birth institutions, co-founding the first African Methodist Episcopal Church of Los Angeles in 1872, the city's first black church.
Then Mexicans think black people came to Los Angeles in the 1900s because they're uneducated. They've been brainwashed by conquistadors. Blacks been in California for centuries. We've been in the Americas for centuries. But when you got that Spanish conquistador knowledge, then you spew nonsense. But that's what happens when Spanish people came to Mexico. They erased the history and indoctrinated them with anti-blackness. So, of course, they're not going to tell you the truth about history because they don't know the truth about history themselves. The Aztecs were not pale people. The Aztecs were dark-skinned, melanated people. So were the Mayans. So were the Olmecs.
African Methodist Episcopal every dollar. She gave generously to people in need. And she helped birth institutions, co-founding the first African Methodist Episcopal Church of Los Angeles in 1872.
There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s, you uneducated fool. Mexicans is a mixture of African, European, and indigenous. It's a mixture of different things. There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. Do your homework. But of course, you're not going to do that because you're a Spanish conquistador. You're a Spanish conquistador. So, of course, you don't care about the facts of history.
The city's first black church. Then came the move that changed her family forever. In 1866, Biddy purchased land on Spring Street for around $250. She didn't flip it for quick cash. She held it. She improved it. She collected rent. As Los Angeles boomed, that modest parcel multiplied in value. Over time, she acquired multiple lots, creating a base of income and dignity for her children and grandchildren. By the time of her passing on January 15, 1891, Biddy Mason had turned skilled labor into real estate, and real estate into community power. Her estate was widely reported to be worth many tens of thousands of dollars, well over $1 million in today's money. But her true legacy was structure, property titled, income diversified, a church anchored, and a family network trained to think in assets. She was known to say, if you hold your hand closed, nothing good can come in. Biddy gave, but she also held. She understood a timeless lesson. Cash feeds today, land feeds generations. So what happened after she died? The short answer, the land kept moving, and so did Los Angeles. Her holdings passed primarily to her daughters and into the extended Owens family through.
A lot of Mexicans think black people came to California in the 1900s. Like, of course, more black people moved to California during the migration from the South in the 50s and 60s, but don't get it twisted. Blacks been in Cali for centuries. We've been in the Americas for centuries. It's scientifically proven that blacks been in Mexico since the 1400s and even before that. There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. A lot of Mexicans don't even know that.
Marriage. In the 1890s and early 1900s, downtown swelled. Spring Street transformed into the city's financial.
Why not move back to Europe since you got all that Spanish conquistador blood? The majority of your bloodline comes from Spain. Why not move there? But guess what? The people in Spain, will never accept you. Yeah.
Parcels were improved, consolidated, sold, or redeveloped, sometimes by the family, sometimes by new investors as values.
Let's go to this right here. Yeah. For Shigadale.
But what if idea of Hollywood dreams and endless freeways was actually founded by black families? And what if I told you this incredible piece of history was deliberately erased and hidden for over a century?
The Spanish conquistadors erased this history. I'm going to show you how a lot of black people founded the city of Los Angeles. A lot of Mexicans don't even know that because they were fed that Spanish conquistador history.
On this day, September 4th, 1781, the city of Los Angeles was founded. But what if I told you the city of Hollywood dreams and endless freeways was actually founded by black families? And what if I told you this incredible piece of history was deliberately erased and hidden for over a century? I'm not talking about some minor historical footnote. I'm talking about the majority of the founding families. More than half of the 44 people who established Los Angeles in 1781 were black or African descent. And here's the really shocking part. This erasure established Los Angeles, the majority of the founding families. More than half of the 44 people who established Los Angeles in 1781 were black or African descent. And here's the really shocking part. This erasure was so complete that today most people living in LA have no idea who actually built their city. We're talking about one of the most successful cover-ups in American history. Today, we're going to go...
If you are Norte, if you are Norte, you follow orders from people in prison. You're not even a real man. Until you stop following orders from people in prison, we have no conversation. You're not even a real man. You're taking orders from guys in prison. If you take orders from guys in prison as a free man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You ain't nothing but a pun. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. They shooting. No, I made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. You taking orders from vatos in prison. You're not even a real man. So there's no need for us to have a conversation. Until you stop taking orders from men in prison, we ain't got nothing to talk about, vato. You a free man, but you let guys in prison dictate your program. Man, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Full detective mode to uncover Los Angeles in 1781 were black or African descent. And here's the really shocking part. This erasure was so complete that today most people living in LA have no idea who actually built their city. We're talking about one of the most successful cover-ups in American history. And here's the really shocking part. This erasure was so complete that today most people living in LA have no idea who actually built their city. We're talking about one of the most successful cover-ups in American history. Today, we're going to go full detective mode to uncover how an entire city's origin story got rewritten and why the truth is finally coming to light. Picture this. It's September 4th, 1781. The sun is beating down on a group of 44 settlers trudging through what is now Southern California. They're carrying everything they own: tools, seeds, livestock, and dreams of a new life. These pioneers are about to establish El Puerto de Nuestra Señora La Reina de Los Angeles. I hope I got that right. The town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels. In a few centuries, this tiny settlement will become the sprawling metropolis known as Los Angeles. But here's where your history textbook probably never told you. When Spanish officials recorded that racial composition of these founding families, the documents tell an incredible story. According to the official colonial census, 26 of the 44 founders were listed as Negro, mulatto, or mestizo, or of mixed African heritage. That's not a typo. That's not a historical anomaly. More than half of the people who founded what would become America's second largest city were black. So how did this story disappear so completely that even most people from Los Angeles today have never heard of it? To understand how Los Angeles really came to be, we need to go back to Spain's colonial strategy in the 1700s. The Spanish Empire controlled vast territories across the Americas, but California, it was a problem child. It was expensive to maintain, difficult to defend, and it was sparsely populated. Russian fur traders were creeping down from Alaska, and the British were eyeing the Pacific coast. Spain needed settlers, and they needed them fast. But here's where the Spanish policy gets really interesting. Unlike other European powers who primarily recruited white settlers, the Spanish had developed a complex understanding of who actually succeeded on their frontier. Spanish administrators noticed that the people of African and mixed heritage were often more successful at frontier life. They were experienced with diverse climates, skilled at agriculture, and they had the survival skills that they developed over many generations. In Spanish colonial thinking, they were the ideal colonists. So when Felipe de Neve, the Spanish governor of California, put together the Los Angeles expedition, his recruiters specifically sought out these families. They offered incredible incentives, everything from free land, livestock, farming tools, and a guaranteed salary for a couple of years. The expedition wasn't random. It was very carefully planned. Each family was chosen for specific skills. There were farmers, blacksmiths, soldiers, and craftsmen, and the majority happened to be of African descent. Now, let me introduce you to some of these founding families. There was Jose Vangellas, listed as Indian, who brought crucial knowledge of local agriculture. Maria Antonio Campos, described as mulatto, whose family would become major landowners. The Merino family, and yes, Merino literally means dark-skinned in Spanish. And then there's a
See, I could have showed you several videos of black people telling this, but since you respect the white man so much, I'm going to let the white man give you facts about history. Maybe you will believe it coming from a white man.
Pico family. Antonio Franco Pico was listed as mulatto in the original records. His descendants would become some of the most powerful people in California history. The settlement they established wasn't some struggling outpost. It was remarkably successful right from the start. These families knew what they were doing. Within a few years, they had established thriving farms, built a church, and created a functioning local government. The black and mixed-race families weren't marginalized. They were the community leaders. Take Pio Pico, grandson of the original founder Antonio Pico. He became the last Mexican governor of California, one of the wealthiest men on the West Coast, and owner of vast cattle ranches. When Americans talk about the Spanish dons of old California, they're often actually referring about families from African descent. The Reyes family, also of African heritage, became major landowners in what is now Westwood and Bel Air. Some of LA's most expensive real estate today sits on a land that was originally granted to black founding families. This success continued for decades, though through Mexican independence in 1821 and well into the American period after 1848, these families maintained.
Mexican independence came in 1821. That was Vincent Guerrero, the second president of Mexico. His nickname was El Negro because he was a black man. So a black man in Mexico abolished slavery. A black man in Mexico went to war with the Spanish, along with Gaspar Yanga and a lot of other black people in Mexico. Black people played a major role in Mexico gaining their independence from Spain. Vincent Guerrero, nicknamed El Negro, fought for Mexican independence. Vincent Guerrero, El Negro, abolished slavery in Mexico, 1821. Do you know that California was Mexico from 1821 to 1848? So California was only Mexico for 27 years. Prior to 1821, the Spanish owned California. Prior to the Spanish owning California, there were several indigenous tribes all over California. A lot of them were melanated, dark-skinned people. Why do you think black people played a major role in funding Los Angeles?
Maintained their prominence. They intermarried with other elite families, served in government, and shaped the region's development. So what changed? How did the story of black founding families get completely erased? The answer lies in the
There was no such thing as a Mexican prior to the 1500s. If you go back to the 14 and 1300s, Mexico and the Americas was occupied by different indigenous tribes. A lot of those indigenous tribes were dark-skinned, melanated people.
1880s, when Los Angeles experienced its first major population boom. The Transcontinental Railroad reached Los Angeles in 1876, and suddenly thousands of white settlers were pouring in from the Midwest and East Coast. Real estate developers saw an unprecedented opportunity. But selling California to white settlers required the right narrative. Developers weren't just selling land, they were selling a lifestyle, a dream, an identity. And that dream needed the right kind of history. Enter the romantic myth of old California, a fantasy of noble Spanish dons, beautiful senoritas, and pastoral ranchos. This wasn't just marketing, it was historical revisionism on an industrial scale. Tourism boards hired writers to create romanticized histories. Publishers produced guidebooks that emphasized Spanish colonial grandeur while quietly omitting any mention of African heritage among the founding families. The process was systematic and deliberate. City boosters, historians, and civic leaders made conscious choices about which version of history to promote. The Spanish colonial fantasy sold real estate. The multiracial reality, it didn't. But the erasure went deeper than just the marketing materials. School textbooks began teaching the romanticized version. Official city histories adapted the whitewashed narrative. Even academic historians started repeating the myth without checking the original sources. The most insidious part? Even some descendants of the original families began denying their African heritage. In an increasingly segregated society, being Spanish opened more doors than being black or mixed race. Families quietly changed their stories to fit the acceptable narrative. By the early 1900s, the transformation was complete. Los Angeles had successfully rebranded its original story from a diverse frontier settlement to a romantic Spanish colonial fantasy. What makes this erasure even more shocking is how thorough it became. We're not talking about a few missing details. We're talking entire family histories were rewritten. And ironically, Hollywood, founded in a city established by black families, began producing movies that reinforce the Spanish Don mythology. Films like Ramona and countless westerns depicted California's past as an exclusively white and Hispanic story. Even the academic institutions joined the cover-up. UCLA, USC, and other universities built their California history programs around the romanticized narrative. Professors might have questioned the story, simply accepted the existing accounts without examining primary sources. The California Historical Society, museums, cultural institutions, they all adopted the whitewashed version. Exhibits, monuments, and official commemorations consistently ignored the African heritage of the founding families. Perhaps most tragically, this erasure robbed generations of black Californians of their rightful place in the state's founding narrative. While the country debated civil rights and equality, one of the most powerful examples of black achievement in the American West remained hidden. The irony is stunning. During the very decades when black Americans were fighting for recognition and equality, the story of black founding families in America's second largest city remained buried in the archives. So the truth might have stayed hidden forever if it were.
So listen, I do content like this to bring you the truth, because Mexicans have been lying. The reason why they've been lying, because they've been indoctrinated and brainwashed by Spanish conquistadors. So of course they'll never tell you the truth about history. Anybody who's been brainwashed by a Spanish conquistador will never tell you the truth about history. Let me tell you something. True history goes against their indoctrination. I repeat, for you people who are too slow, true history goes against their indoctrination.
Were not for the social upheavals of the 1960s. The civil rights movement didn't just challenge contemporary racism, it forced Americans to re-examine their history. Dr. Jack Forbes,
let me tell you something. The black man and the black woman, we are the original race on planet Earth. We are the original people. Clearly, we're the original people. Hands down, without a doubt, we're the original people. But when you've been brainwashed and indoctrinated by a Spanish conquistador, true history goes against what? It goes against your indoctrination.
American historian at UC Davis was researching indigenous populations in colonial California when he stumbled across something extraordinary in the Spanish archives. The original settlement records for Los Angeles told a completely different story than what he'd learned in school. Forbes wasn't looking for African-American history. He was studying social upheavals of the 1960s. The civil rights movement didn't just challenge contemporary racism, it forced Americans to re-examine their history. Dr. Jack Forbes, a Native American historian at UC Davis, was researching indigenous populations in colonial California when he stumbled across something extraordinary in the Spanish archives. The original settlement records for Los Angeles told a completely different story than what he'd learned in school. Forbes wasn't looking for African-American history. He was studying native populations. But the Spanish colonial records were so detailed and explicit about racial categories that he couldn't ignore what he was seeing. The Spanish, they kept meticulous records. They didn't just list names. They recorded detailed information about racial background, family relationships, social status, and economic activities. Every founding family's heritage was documented with bureaucratic precision. Forbes began cross-referencing these records with other documents, the birth certificates, marriage records, land grants, and census data. The pattern was undeniable and consistent across multiple sources. Other historians joined the investigation. Dr. William Mason at the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County, he began his own research. Miriam Matthews, one of the first black librarians in Los Angeles, started connecting the dots between archival records and family oral histories. What they found was explosive. Not just the racial composition of the founding families, but evidence of a systematic cover-up that hid this history for nearly a decade. Or nearly, not a decade, a whole century. By the 1970s, the evidence was overwhelming. Multiple independent researchers had reached the same conclusion using different sources and methodologies. The founding of Los Angeles was primarily the achievement of black and mixed-race families. But even with solid evidence, challenging a century of accepted history wasn't easy. Academic institutions that had built their reputations on the Spanish colonial narrative were reluctant to acknowledge their errors. Tourism boards.
The Spanish colonial narrative has been pushed on modern-day Mexicans. This is why I call them conquistadors, because the truth goes against their indoctrination.
It was overwhelming. Multiple independent researchers had reached the same conclusion using different sources and methodologies.
Black people came in different complexions. If you go to Africa right now, you got black people of different shades and colors, different languages, different cultures. It was the same thing here in the Americas. Not all natives had the same language. Not all natives looked the same. There were different tribes of natives. Some of them were darker. Some of them were lighter. Some of them were in between. This is a known fact if you study history. But the truth goes against their indoctrination. I get it.
The founding of Los Angeles was primarily the achievement of black and mixed-race families. But even with solid evidence, challenging a century of accepted history wasn't easy. Academic institutions that had built their reputations on the Spanish colonial narrative were reluctant to acknowledge their errors. Tourism boards and city officials worried about how this revelation might affect Los Angeles' carefully cultivated image. Some descendants of the original families had mixed reactions. Pride in their heritage conflicted with generations of social conditioning. Gradually, though, the truth began to surface in economic circles, academic circles, and then the community organizations, and then finally the mainstream media. But the process was slow and often met with skepticism. Today, there are modest acknowledgments of this history. A small plaque downtown mentions the diverse origins of the founders. Some schools now teach about the real demographic makeup of early Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Public Library has exhibits on the founding families. But these recognitions feel almost inadequate compared to the scale of the erasure. For almost a century, millions of people learned a false version of their city's history.
Right.
The story of Los Angeles' founding is really about the power of narrative to shape reality. For more than 100 years, a carefully constructed myth replaced documented historical fact. This matters because history isn't just about the past. It shapes how we see ourselves and imagine the future. When we erase the contributions of black families to the founding of other major American cities, we're not just challenging yesterday's story. We're limiting how people understand their place in today's world.
When people want to fight over this, that shows you how dumb they are and how ignorant they are. They want to fight because the truth goes against their doctrination. So what did I say? They're windmilling and punching the air. because their lies have been finally exposed. Matter of fact, the lies been exposed a long time ago. Most people don't study and most people don't read books, so they roll with the indoctrination instead of real history and real education. That's why you got all these Spanish conquistadors. I said it. This is why you got all these Spanish conquistadors in the comment section, windmilling, punching, wanting to fight. Fight yourself because you're fighting against the truth. You're fighting against the truth. That is a losing battle. Let me tell you something, Vato. When you're fighting against the truth, you're fighting a losing battle. Why? Because the truth will always win. You can't fight against the truth. Why? Because the facts remain the same. You cannot fight against the truth. The truth will never change. Only an idiot will fight against the truth. The truth stays the same. It never changes. The truth ain't got nothing to do with your feelings. The truth ain't got nothing to do with your emotions. This is King Supreme, delivering straight laced game, exposing all of these emotional, weak conquistadors in my comment section.
Families who founded Los Angeles succeeded because they brought the skills, determination, and vision to an untamed frontier. The story isn't one of triumph, achievement, and community. Actually, their story.
Exactly. The truth is undefeated. You are wasting your time fighting against the truth. Why? Because the truth never changes. The truth and the facts remain the same. There's nothing you can do to change that. You might as well accept it. You will be better off accepting it instead of fighting against it. Only an idiot fights against the facts. Only an idiot fights against the truth. The truth will never get tired, but guess what? You will. The truth will never get tired, but guess what? You will. It don't matter how much you windmill. It don't matter how much you punch in the air. The truth remains the same. It'll never change. My words of advice is to never fight against the truth. Accept the truth for what it is. Your feelings and emotions don't matter.
Is one of achievement, triumph, and community building, exactly the kind of history that should inspire rather than be hidden. So, the next time you see that famous LA skyline or drive down Pico Boulevard or visit downtown's historic core, remember, the city was built by black hands from day one. And that's just not a footnote in California history. That's the foundation everything else was built on. And that is your story for today, September.
Shout out to my girl Trina for the Cash App. Shout out to Scoop for the Cash App. And listen, man, we're going to get up out of here. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. Oh, man, the truth got on windmilling. The truth got on punching in the air. Mexicans didn't know that black people played a major role in founding Los Angeles. They didn't know that. Why? Because they've been indoctrinated to believe different. They've been indoctrinated by Spanish conquistadors. So you can never expect these people to tell you the truth. These are Spanish conquistadors, and unfortunately, a lot of them call themselves Mexicans. But when you think about their indoctrination, they are Spanish conquistadors. Shout out to the Mexicans who understand the truth, that roll with the truth. But the rest of y'all are Spanish conquistadors. Because you're rolling with the false narrative. The truth goes against their indoctrination. The Spanish conquistadors, and unfortunately, some of these people call themselves Mexicans. But real Mexicans who understand history, they know that I'm giving you the facts. You Spanish conquistadors, you're windmilling and fighting against the truth. And like I said, the truth will never get tired, but guess what? You will. You can continue to windmill. You can continue to windmill, punch in the air and fight against the truth. You will get tired, but the truth will never get tired. The truth remains the same. Hey, it's the Player Partner King Supreme. Make sure that you like this content. Realer than rap, no cap, delivering the hard-hitting facts. I'm gone. Peace, love, and blessings. I am giving you game to keep you from stressing. I got to get up out of here, man. I'm gone.